audio missing. We have to start all over. We lost like 30 minutes of shit, and then we realized we've watched 4 minutes of this movie. I was like, oh yeah, we can actually very easily just restart where we began.
Yeah, honestly, we just had to cover a few bases, really.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I figured as soon as you were talking in, I was like, this is the perfect time to hit record. So I was yes. So, yeah, we had a few audio issues, but now if I check on main cam, audio is up and running, and
Excellent.
on scene, audio is still up and running, so we're good.
Perfect.
God, the amount of times that has fucked us over. Like,
why does audio just out of nowhere and for no reason just change the default settings?
Dude, it's insane. Fuck it, I went to scene and I checked our audio input capture and it was on default. It wasn't even on the Yeti, and I was like,
What?
Why? I mean, it was picking up for both, but I was still like bewildered by that.
I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we left off at this sword fight scene last episode of this. Last episode of this 2.5 hour.
Part 1.
Basically, part 1 of, for all we know, part 12.
Yeah, it's about to be this epic battle. So we have. Where's everybody's? There was one thing again. I had forgotten to mention it before, but there was a call, kind of a callback that something that Jack says throughout. Let me make sure the audio's right. It is the audio or something that Jack says later on that I wanted to mention, which is right here. Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't have all day. Blah blah blah. Okay. Sticks and stones,
Blah.
shit like that. So, gentlemen, my lady, you will always remember that this is the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow. So, it plays into his narcissism, plays into
All those eyes.
dreamy. But it plays into the way Jack sees himself. He sees himself as this great character, right? And I like this shot too because it gives us a layout. So what do we have? Let's see. Let's take a look at this since we're about to enter this fight scene. This whole scene needs this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, and this is actually a very important shot, because this gives us a layout. Actually, let me take away the image of all that we're going to be seeing in the near future.
So we have like these push.
Yeah, we got swords. Let's see. Yeah, right here we got click. We got swords right here, right? So we got swords. We got, I think there was some hammers hanging up around here on the conveyor belt. More swords. It's obviously a blacksmith shop.
These gears,
gears.
Mule, this whole ass
mule that's walking around, right? We got, it swivels over to this area right here, and we have our little deck, this little deck right here. Saw, random tinkering tools, an anvil, and then the furnace, right? So just a bunch of random jargon, essentially. Obviously a blacksmith shop. Now, you might think, but Jeremy, it's awfully convenient that, Jack just so happens to be walking into a blacksmith shop when we know that Will Turner is, in fact, a blacksmith. Well, you might be right. However, Jack needs to get his chains unbroken. So the only way I would think in 17th or 18th century, times, the way to get that broken is to get something that's industrious, right?
Oh yeah.
Like a hammer or something that can pry it open.
Somewhere that
something
has
that
like
can
machines.
Heat it up. Something that can pry it off, right? You need something that's stronger than yourself, obviously. So this would be the right place to go.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack, let's see. Let me go ahead and pull up our overlay. Boom. Notices. We've already gone over this shit. But he ends up breaking himself free, right? As Will Turner shows up. And then we get to this fight. And I like this because it really shows Jack's narcissism in testing Will.
Yeah.
And he's like, you threatened Miss Swan. He's like, only a little. Yeah, he's really nonchalant about a lot of things.
Take a joke, pussy.
So we begin the fight sequence with a couple bats, right? So does a little tit for tat. And he starts really pushing up on Will, right?
Yeah.
And then Will does a couple of swipes here and there, like he's wailing a little bit. It's like, yeah, Jesus, but still, brings himself back to form, right? So we see that he kind of knows what he's doing, but he's a little inexperienced in real combat, right?
Yeah.
And then he begins an assault on Jack and starts going with a couple of jabs, a couple of slashes. And I also I pointed this out last time. Will still has his guard up. He's still, let's see, click. He still has his sword up, still at guard, and Jack brings himself out nonchalantly, guard mostly down. Because he's like, you know what you're doing, excellent for me.
He does not see Will as a threat.
Yes, he's almost tutoring him as if like, oh yes, I come from I come as a man who knows what he's talking about. So I know what I'm doing, and you're doing all right. You know, you're doing okay. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but how? You know, but you could do better here and there. So he's kind of being a tutor to Will as if he was some sort of teacher.
Sure. Yeah. Which, I mean...
Which plays into Jack's role, not necessarily as a teacher, but he's like, he thinks he's the shit. So he's like, oh, yeah, you're doing great.
If there's one thing that we all know about Jack is that he thinks he is the hottest shit to ever walk this earth.
He's a lot like you, honestly.
That's what we call being a Sigma male.
Let's see. And he goes...
Sorry, just kind of an aside, but
go for it.
I love the whole idea between like alpha males and sigma males.
I don't know the fucking difference, honestly.
No, that's the thing. It's like alpha males were just sort of like a laughable, like, because people, like, a bunch of guys literally got together.
Just those guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes. A bunch of guys got together, invented an upper class of men, and then placed themselves in it. It's like, I just invented this trophy, and I'm giving it to myself. I have the biggest dick award. It's like that, where it's like, and then a bunch of guys got fucking sick of that shit, where it's like, why are you such a bunch of attention-seeking pussies? And they were like, okay, fine. If you're an alpha, I'm a sigma. It's one level higher, and you wouldn't understand because you're only an alpha, little bitch.
Next one's gonna be fucking gamma.
Gamma. I'm a gamma guy.
I'm a gamma male.
I'm a gamma male.
We should start that trend.
Yeah.
A bunch of gamma males.
We are the first two gamma males. It's one level higher than Sigma, and you wouldn't get it because you're only a Sigma.
You're only a Sigma. Yeah, stay on your Sigma male grind set, little bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, it's like alphas. They're like constantly bragging about like how alpha they are, how like controlling and strong and animalistic they are.
We're Liver King.
Yeah, we're like Liver King. Just like ripping shirts off.
Liver King without any of the steroids.
Yeah. Like, Sigma males are just like, yeah, we're strong, confident, but we don't fucking brag about it like a bunch of attention-seeking non-daddy havers. I was like, oh, you're an alpha, huh? And you like to, cry into the void and get attention? That's very typical behavior for someone who grew up without a father.
And then us Sigmas were like, yeah, we have fathers. We're just decent people.
Yeah, we're just decent people who are confident, but we don't shove it in your face. And then we have the Gamma males. The Gamma males that are confident and literally bring no attention to themselves at all. We got
80 subscribers on YouTube. That's Gamma energy right there.
We are... taking pride in your lack of success. That is gamma energy. We are gamma males, bro.
I fight success and failure.
We are gamma male grind set. We work to have less than 100 subscribers, and we cap at that.
Oh, man. Hell.
We brag in our failure.
As the wise man once said, helping yourself, is masturbation, but, self-destruction.
That's the answer. Yeah, it's like that Bruce Lee quote. It's like, I don't fear the man who sucked 10,000 dicks. I fear the man who sucked his own dick 10,000 times.
I'm not sure that was Bruce Lee, but I'll take
Bruce Lee said that.
Oh, man. Anyway. So how's your footwork, says Jack. Man, 4 beers in, we're really killing it.
Mm-hmm.
This is great.
Oh,
sweet gamma energy.
This gamma energy.
Or
taking pride in your failures and lack of success.
I mean, honestly, our mascot should be the Hulk because he took gamma rays and it ended up as a failed science experiment. Oh, that's fantastic.
Start that trend. Add us right now on Twitter.
Look, we're not failures. We just like to lay under the radar.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It's like Alpha being super like confident but being braggy.
Right.
Sigma is like being confident but humble in yourself. Gamma is being confident in your own fuck ups.
It's like, I'll own that shit.
Yeah, I own that shit. Whatever.
Yeah. Which honestly, in a genuine way, could be better than Sigma in that way.
Yeah, it's almost like...
It's like, yeah, I own that. I fucked that up.
Yeah, it's like we almost take more pride in our failures than we do our successes.
Because in failure's where you learn, man.
Yeah, failures is where you learn. Alright, you can't learn without failure. Failure is not the end. It's the teacher. Gamma Psi grind set.
Oh man, that's fantastic. So with Jack in his lower tier alpha male grind set,
yeah.
He's like he's testing Will in the sense that Jack's goal in this situation obviously is to escape. He's trying to escape the British military or British Navy and try and get out of this now that he's free from his cuffs. But he sees Will and he's like, okay, I'll have some fun while I'm doing this. So he's like, how's your footwork? So he's like, if I step here, testing him, they have a little bet, and we're not going to be like Australian medieval experts. We're not going to be able to break this down slash by slash and talk about like where they're hitting. Yeah. But you can basically tell.
Shadiversity, make a video for us.
Make a video, please, about this fight. This is a good fight.
Everybody, I don't know what he has, but like
at Shadiversity.
Just at Shadiversity and have him like make a video for us, and then have him send.
If he hasn't already, because this would be a perfect one.
Yeah.
Because it has some goods and some bads. I think the thing that Shad normally critiques is just hitting the sword and not hitting the person. Like whenever you're going for attack.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that you're going at the person and not at the weapon.
Yeah, because it's very obvious that it's like staged and practiced.
Right. So, generally, if we were going to do something like that, and I just want to do a quick click, so, I mean, it's hard to see from here, but they're really fairly close together with their slashes, in close proximity, and they're hitting around the mid area of the body. So you could make the argument that they're going after each other and not necessarily the weapons.
Yeah.
So, the way Jack's played this, he's like, and since we've had a layout of the area that it showed us in the beginning of the scene, Jack, is kind of teaching Will. He's like, I'll play along. We'll do this little thing, see where it goes. And he does this little footwork, does a little training, and he's like, yeah, no, little bat. Later, I'm out. And right. Will is obviously perplexed by this.
A little, yeah.
He's like, "What are you doing?" And so he basically played straight into Jack's hand. He's trying to fight Jack, obviously, and prove himself.
Jack was just trying to like close the distance between him and the door.
Exactly, and he's just trying to close his distance to the door. And so he goes to bounce out, and then here's the thing that kind of stretches the suspense of disbelief.
Yeah.
Will Turner takes a sword and fucking just throws it into the door.
Like a nail through a plank of wood, just like, just right in there.
Now, he could have, it would make sense for him to have a knife on him.
Sure.
He owns knives. It would make sense, or he has knives around the area because he's a blacksmith. It makes sense for him to have knives around in general because he's a blacksmith. He could have grabbed a knife. A knife could do that. It could block the door. But no, because I guess they got to be hyperbolic for hyperbolic's sake. he throws a fucking sword from like 3 meters away into
That's
the
door. Thing. Okay, that's the thing is that...
And I don't even think it flips. It just goes straight in.
It just goes... He throws it like a spear.
I wonder if I can... Y'all guys will have to forgive the mouse clicks. Oh god, let me bring up the overlay real quick before we do the throw. Let's see. I'll do some clicks to try and go frame by frame, unless I can pause. Oh god, no, that didn't work.
No,
that didn't work at all. It just skipped by 10. No.
Shame. Okay.
Shame. All right, let's see how this goes. So, he's ready to throw it.
I want to see. Yeah, he throws it like a dagger.
Yeah, throws it like a dagger, and then boom, it just lands right in.
Also, I doubt that sword is heavy enough to like really catch into the wood.
Dig into wood.
Really dig into wood.
Because it's way too thin.
That's the thing. That's just like a normal arming sword.
It's like a cavalry saber.
It's like almost. A cavalry saber, or like.
Except it's a bit more straight, but yeah.
Not saber, not rapier. What's the other word? Cutlass? Is that
yes?
It?
Cutlass. Cutlass was very common. These are very common swords among pirates and other navy combatants.
So it's like it's
a slashing weapon.
That's the thing. It's around that weight. And the thing about these swords is that like a lot of people think that they're like heavy as shit. Thing is they barely weighed more than like a couple pounds.
Yeah, they're. I mean,
they're very light.
I have a cutlass in there, and it weighs in by about I think like 2.5 pounds.
Yeah, like these things are like no more than like 1.5 kilograms.
Yeah,
2 kilograms at most.
And most of the weight is in the back end of the sword, and the main reason for that is so you can kind of act like a rapier. And have a lot of parrying abilities and slashing and moving around and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So we're just like, there's no way that sword is heavy enough, or would be able to carry that much momentum to like dig into like this clearly thick, sturdy wooden door.
And honestly, it makes sense for Jack's surprise because he's like, I didn't think that was possible.
Like, wow, you really like hit like the 1 centimeter weak spot on this door.
You really rolled a natural 20 on that one.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, that would make sense in a D&D perspective because it's like all right, now you have your enemy pirate is heading towards the exit. What do? I throw a sword into the lock.
Yeah.
It's like roll a d20.
I guess roll an attack roll against the door? Fine. I don't know what skill check that would be. Yeah. So just roll an attack roll against the door. Nat 20. Well, shit, I mean, you fucking made purchase. The door's permanently locked now as long as the sword's there.
And it has, albeit this is kind of a scene that I think is not the best. It's a bit convenient. The fact that that it impedes all the way into the door and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Still, in my opinion, as a kid, one of the funniest scenes to me in all of the Pirates movies. I love this little bit right here where Jack takes the sword and he goes to lift it up and he can't, and he's just hopping around like.
I also highly doubt he wouldn't be able to pull out the sword.
Right? Yeah. No, that's very true. Wait a minute. This could change everything. Is there any way that it's in the crevice in between?
Is that sword even hit the wood?
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Okay. This changes everything.
I'm trying to look really hard.
Wait. Really look at this, because y'all guys. Hold on. Let me pause.
Zoom in.
Okay.
See if
I can. So. I'll be able to. I'll be able to zoom in on here. Oh wait. Fuck no. Window capture. There we go. So for y'all guys, let me zoom in for y'all. Right here.
Okay. So point the mouse where the sword is.
There's a sword. Is it going in directly into the wood, or is it going into because it could make sense. If it threads that line, he wouldn't be able to technically lift up the handle right here because the sword's in the way, obviously.
But what would the sword catch on?
I was about to say, I'm not sure. Maybe it's because the line in between the door, like either side, is super thin, and it's just super overexposed as far as light goes, because it's daylight, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because either that's the case, either it's embedded in the wood right here, or it's went right in between right here, and he can't lift it up because it's stuck there somehow. Because you have to remember, it is still thick. It is still a sword. Mm-hmm. So if he threw it with enough force, and he just threaded that fucking needle beautifully.
Okay, here's the thing. It's like, if he threw it into the actual, like, bar itself, and he threaded that needle so that, like...
Right. Where it would go in between the door and the wall right here.
Okay.
Which would prevent him from
Here's the
lifting
thing, is, like, if he missed the bar entirely, and it's just, like, in the crack, Jack could have easily just, like, moved it.
Right.
But if it went through the bar, which no fucking way that would happen.
No. I'm thinking the way it either works is either it's in the door in the sense that he can't lift it up because it's embedded in the wood,
and he can't like lift the bar,
right? Or
away.
it's in the crack, and it just so happens that it is wide enough to where it's sunk. It's because you know swords get they taper, right? They're thinner at the tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it just wedged itself all the way in the crack to its tightest point. That's the only other way that could make sense. Either it's embedded in the wood, or it's thinned that needle beautifully, and it's just embedded in that crack.
This is kind of a head scratcher.
But both of those are super unrealistic. But
yeah.
But either way, it's still fun to think about.
Okay, well, I mean, that's the thing is like, that sword's really in there because you can see like the line, like the shadow.
Right.
Where it like. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. It's like it's a weird angle. It's trick of the light and the trick of the camera.
Right.
But I do think that it's like embedded into the lock.
I think that would make sense. I would think it makes sense that it would go into the wood itself.
It went all the way through the bar, wedged itself into like the line between the doors, like the crack between the doors, and Jack just can't like pull it out and lift it.
Right, because that would make sense because that's what he was trying to do, and he was having wood contact. So it's got to be in the wood. Yeah. There's no way that with the sound and with the acting quality, there's no way that it was in the crack. It kind of fooled me for a second there because it really looks like it's going into the crack. Either way, I do like that Jack tries to play this off because he just made a fool of himself while trying to be suave and full and narcissistic, and so he's just like, oh yes, that was a wonderful trick. Mm-hmm. And now he points out something right here. There's this exit, and he's like, you're in between me and my way out, and he's unarmed. Mm-hmm. However, this is also, he's like, you have no weapon, and he goes, but you also remember, this is a blacksmith shop. Yeah. There are weapons fucking everywhere. And so he just grabs something out of the iron, and then boom, there's a weapon. Mm-hmm. And what I like about this scene, I think I had made it. I had made this point last time, before our audio was fucked. Was, this is a really interesting environment to fight in, right? However, it's not necessarily convenient because Jack needed something industrious to unlock him from his hinges, hence why he's here. But it also happens that, listed in our plot before, Will Turner is a blacksmith, so it makes sense for both of them to be here. It makes sense for the story, it makes sense for the characters. And that's what I really like about this fight in particular, is that the fights are here for a reason. It's built around the plot, and it all makes cohesive sense. And it's interesting.
That's the thing. It's like everything that you see in this movie has an explanation.
Right.
It's not like in the Rings of Power, where like the kingdom of like, what was that island nation of
Numenor?
Numenor, where it's like the army of Numenor just happened to fucking wander into the one village in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, or Galadriel suddenly gets elvish armor as she's sailing out for Numenor, even though they don't make elvish armor there.
Exactly. So it's like, it's like every plot connection that happens in that show is just such a long shot.
Yeah, it's like she's sailing towards towards Valinor, and she's like, no, I want to swim back, and she just so happens to find the raft, which by the way has Sauron on it. Yeah. And then also that raft, after getting attacked by ocean monsters, also just so happens to find a ship full of Numenorians. It's like, you're in an ocean. Do you know how rare that would be?
So that's the thing. It's like, you can always like chalk it up to like, oh, it's fate.
Oh,
it's
fuck it up.
fate that brings us together.
Fuck
Ah! But it's like that scene where it's like, I can't remember the name of the black Cuban elf.
I usually just called him. Oh God, I don't remember. Yeah, no, I don't remember his name.
Whatever.
The black elf.
Anyway, so you know,
Don Lemonlass. I think that was the joke.
Lemon.
Don Lemonlass.
Yeah, so Don Lemon is like having like this all-out like raid going on in the village.
Right.
And so they're like killing Uruks. Is it
Orcs.
Uruks?
It was
okay,
orcs.
so it is Orcs. It's not Uruks yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, so they're just like they're killing Orcs. Orcs are coming out of the woods. The tide of battle is constantly turning. Like the Orcs get an upper hand, they get an upper hand. They swap back and forth, and then out of fucking bumfuck nowhere, a ship filled with Numenorian soldiers just so happened to land on the shore that this village was nearest by, and then go to that village.
Beeline
to that village, which, by the way...
and we have no reason to know why they would be connected to each other.
It's like, that's the thing, is like, these characters have not interacted once in the series.
That's the thing that gets me, is like, is for one thing, when they sailed off to the Westlands, why the fuck did they go specifically to this village? They had no connection with this outpost.
Like, this is literally the only village that we have seen in this entire plot of land. There's no other village. It's not like it's not like an archipelago of like villages that interact or like trade together. So it's like a large map. It's like one village.
It's an outpost and a village.
It's an outpost and a village, which by the way has like 6 buildings total in it.
Yes, it's a very small village.
It's immensely small, even by village standards. It's very small.
Minecraft villages have more houses than this place.
Dude, that is actually not hyperbolic. Like, you are correct. Like, statistically and by numbers and by fact alone, fucking Minecraft villages have more buildings and people in it than this fucking village did. And yet the ship full of Numenor soldiers just so happened to land on that shore, beeline straight to that village for absolutely no fucking reason other than the plot just had to move on.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's crazy because then I have people that...
Holy shit, the writers of that show are so fucking stupid.
I like that we can squeeze in our Pirates of the Caribbean thing to bitch about Rings of Power.
Dude, I was like, I'm actually like angry now. Like,
it upsets me because I have people come up to me and they're like, oh, Rings of Power wasn't that bad, and I haven't seen it in a minute, so I'm like, oh, it had good qualities, but then I think about these things and I'm like,
God, that show fucking sucks.
God, you had so many problems. That's why I always come back to movies like Pirates, because Pirates, I look at, here's the thing. I have family members who will sometimes get on to me because they're like,
I'm sorry, Jared. Like, I don't like to do this in your bedroom, but I gotta fucking
go for it. But they're like, Jared, you're always so negative about these shows. Every time you talk about, every time
it's not my fault. Everything sucks.
they're like, every time I have interest in a show, they always bitch about it and have problems with it. But here's my thing.
That feels a lot better.
When me and Riley, we like to dive deep into shows. We like to dive deep into movies and figure out, how these are set up, why they're set up the way that they are, and what makes them interesting. And that's what's fun. That's why we're doing Pirates of the Caribbean, because
it's a fun movie, but it's a smart movie.
Exactly.
Everything that happens has an explanation.
And I think this scene right here is a good point, because we're what, 25 minutes into the movie, right? We've had character build up, because you have to remember Rings of Power is hour episodes, right? We're into our first real fight scene.
Yes.
We have an interesting setup. It's not just a flat field like an Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Mm-hmm. Not just a flat field.
They literally forget that they have weapons in their hands.
Yes, we have weapons around. We have objects that can move up and down. We have a fucking mule that will walk around, and gears and conveyor belts. We have a lot of interesting things to work with, right?
It's fun.
It's fun, but also everything makes sense. Everything's here for a reason. Everything lines up. It's not convenient. It makes sense, and I love that. I love that because these writers thought about that shit.
Everything in this show has a reason. The reason why the Black Pearl is able to track down all 882 coins is because the coins literally guide them to it.
They guide them to it, yeah. And not only that, they change the winds so the winds are always on the Black Pearl side.
So they can find the coins. They literally guide them to themselves.
And I love that because it's in the first 15 minutes of the show. It's not like they added it in later because we needed a reason.
Jack is here because he needs industrial machines to break these chains, so he chose to go to a blacksmith. I almost said Will Smith. Will Smith is a blacksmith.
Motherfucker, what are you doing in my blacksmith shop, bitch?
Yeah, it's like, keep my motherfucking wife's name... Oh, Elizabeth Swann. Keep my girl's name out your fucking mouth! That's my favorite Will Smith moment. Like, that and the scene in Prince of Bel-Air where he's talking about his dad. Those are my two favorite Will Smith scenes. But it's like everything in this movie is like held together by a simple explanation.
Right.
It's like why are these pirates able to find all 882 coins? Because the coins guide them to them.
Right.
Why is Jack even at this blacksmith shop? Well, because he needed machines to break the chains.
Exactly.
Will is here because he works here.
Right. And albeit, of course, this movie is not perfect. It has flaws, but it's moments like these that I can really appreciate. I can look at this and be like, wow, that was really thought out. That makes complete sense. And there's no faults I can have in there. That's awesome. That's really good writing. That's fantastic writing. These first 25 minutes have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Great build up, great setup, great character development, all of that, right? But
wow, yeah, 25 minutes exactly.
Yeah, but you have that, and then you have Rings of Power where it just doesn't do that, and it's more lazy writing, and that's why I have issues with these shows, because you can see the quality here. There's quality here, and so this for me, as far as multi-million-dollar standards, this should be the standard.
Yeah.
This should be base. This should be baseline.
This is why this is Jeremy's favorite movie, because the plot makes sense and it's held
it's
together
definitely one
well.
of my favorite movies of all. I watch this all the time. I fucking love this movie. Anyway, and I love this. It's another joke. I think we forgot it.
I love the mule.
The mule. The mule looks up at the hot sword and it's like, oh shit! I better start moving. Which is another setup from what Jack did.
Yeah.
When Jack hit the mule and got him started up, everything has kind of a setup and a payoff. It's like it's fantastic work. So Jack's like, in this scene, Jack is trying to escape. Of course, that's his plan. And so he's no longer trying to teach Will. He's trying to get out. He's trying to escape.
Yeah.
And Will's just obviously out to kill. You made a good point earlier.
Yeah.
Which right here, we'll get it for you guys real quick. This is a terrific point in this fight scene because it's good fight scene storytelling, where they're going through their quick combatants, right? Simple stuff. Let's see, right. I think right here. Let me get the overlay off so y'all guys can see. They're fighting, right? So sparks are flying. They're doing their shit, right? And Will goes in for this attack, right? Boom. It's caught on
Jack's chains.
Jack throws it off. So Will's like, "Oh shit, that's a problem," right?
Oh well. I have 1,000 other swords to pick from.
Right, he has a ton of other swords. So he does a good dolphin dive, rolls around, picks up another sword, because it's a blacksmith shop, and look, he's got hammers everywhere. That's another thing I like about this set. There's plenty of shit to use.
Oh,
There's shit everywhere that you can use to combat an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes this interesting. And so they begin doing the classic fighting and conversating, like, anime thing. So he's got sword. Jack acknowledges all the swords, who makes all these, and then Will announces that he's the blacksmith, and then he practices 3 hours a day. So we know this man is committed to fighting in combat. Because I mean, hell, what else is he going to do in his time when he's off, when he's working? Because honestly, he probably works from dusk till dawn.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's a laborer in like the. I want to say like 1700s.
If I'm not mistaken, the pirate age was
17th century, right?
It was 18th century, which means 1700s, and it's like 1750. Hold on, this is I should be kicking myself because I'm a history buff.
Yeah. But you know what? This is all good information for the audience.
It's a 40-year reign, really. Age.
Pirate, yeah.
Yeah, age of piracy. 1650s and 1730s.
Wow, 80 years. Well, like almost 80 years.
Oh wow, I thought it was 40. I didn't think it really lasted longer after
the
like 1750.
Golden Age of piracy is a common designation for the period between 1650s and 1730s. Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Where it's like, so this was after the discover of like the Caribbean islands, where it's like it was just like free reign of like business enterprises and like piracy and shit.
Yeah, like the Wild West of the 18th century.
Exactly. So yeah.
You know, but man, so they're doing this whole combat. Will says he practices 3 hours a day. Jack retorts with, "You need to find yourself a girl." You know, being that Jack is obviously a pirate. He's nonchalant. He's gonna be, you know, he's willing to sleep around. Honestly, you know, we have Will Turner as me and Jack Sparrow as Riley. That's the way this is set. Like, I'm set on one woman. He's like, you know, you need to find yourself a girl.
Yeah. You need to get some side hoes, Jeremy.
I really didn't necessarily like this little shot right here.
Find you a girl who does it all doesn't exist.
True. But anyway, this is the one critique I had really for this fight was Jack backs up and then Will kind of barely hits the the log and he's just like, eh.
That's kind of a weak swipe.
Yeah, it's a very weak swipe.
It's like if you like look at it close enough, you can see that like there was like at least a foot of distance between that sword and Jack. He did not need to sidestep.
Exactly.
He did not need to like bounce back.
He could have just, you know, rolled around.
I love his face.
Oh yeah, that is a good face of Will Turner.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they're going at it, and he's like, "Perhaps you practice 3 hours a day." See, because you already have found a woman, right? Mm-hmm. And are otherwise incapable of wooing said Strumpet.
I love Strumpet.
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 I even get it wrong.
Okay, guys, I don't know.
We looked this up earlier.
Yeah.
And it means prostitute, essentially.
Yeah, just like a hoe or like a slut, basically.
Yeah.
So like
I need to use this on somebody at some point. Like
just like,
bitch, you are otherwise incapable of wooing a strumpet.
It's like, you know what's great about this scene, which is like great about this diss altogether, is like Jack is saying is like he doesn't say the term like girlfriend, lady, lass, anything like that. He doesn't say like, oh, well, you are perhaps incapable of wooing your betrothed or something like that. He says strumpet, which is synonymous with prostitute. He's like, you are such a beta male bitch that you can't even get inside a prostitute's pants.
It's fantastic.
Which is a hard bar.
Good diss.
That is a diss and a half.
Damn. And then he even goes and adds on the extra thing. Like, if you look at his face right here, he's like, "You're not a eunuch, are you?"
That's genuine, actual curiosity and concern.
Yeah.
He's like really like.
And if you don't know, and if I'm not mistaken, if you don't know what a eunuch is, it's a man without his balls.
Yeah. So like it, the thing is like, eunuchs are basically people who have their men particularly, they have their testicles removed to reduce their like sexual like desires, blah blah blah, because like they were often servants of like a king and they needed to watch over their queen, but they didn't trust their servants to not fuck the shit out of their queen, so they cut their balls off.
Damn. Harsh shit, man, back in the day. Like, you think you have it hard now at Starbucks? You thought wrong.
No, like, if you were a dude and you were, like, beta enough to be a servant and you weren't born into, like, a decent, like,
You were beta.
lifestyle...
You're not a gamma like
You're
us.
not a gamma like us. You don't own that you lost your balls. You gotta own that shit. But so basically, it's just like, yeah, it's like, you're not a eunuch, are you? Which is basically is like, hey, you're not like, you know, you didn't like cut your balls off or something, and that's why you don't have a girlfriend, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, it's crazy to think that there are women in Africa who are literally getting their clitorises surgically removed by a knife.
Right.
Because it reduces their sexual, like, desires or something. We're just
Yeah. Not only that, but also in, like, fucking the Middle East in general.
like,
Like, they do that, too.
Dude, I am so proud of Iran right now.
Yeah?
All those protests going on.
Dude, yeah, for
It's
real.
like women who are, like, ripping off their... burkas?
Burkas, yes.
Like, women ripping off their burkas, showing their tits and shit.
Dude.
It's like guys who are literally like assaulting like the hierarchy of like religious monasteries.
Fucking I wish dude America would
Dude,
say more on
America,
that.
get on the Iran game.
Well, not only that, but we should have gotten on the Hong Kong game.
Oh yeah, Hong Kong protests are stronger than ever right now.
Yeah.
Remember like a couple of years ago, maybe last year, where it was like 30% of the Hong Kong population like stood up and like
Donald Trump don't like China. China is asshole.
China.
You saw that shit.
Fuck Chinese government.
Yeah.
Like,
show is awesome, man.
It's like, what do? We just fucking burn down Targets and steal TVs from them. We're weak shit. We need to get on that Hong Kong Iran game.
Honestly, when I saw it, it made me emotional when fucking Hong Kong was waving American flags and shit.
Oh yeah.
Legit made me emotional because I'm like, man, they're really like shooting for the ideal of that America has of like you know,
democratic freedom.
Yeah. You know, freedom from tyranny and you know, being able to have a democratic republic where you know, where your vote and your choice matters and all that shit. It was really nice to see, and so didn't mean for this to get a little political, but I mean, I honestly I don't think we're shooting anything that's controversial here.
No, it's not weird to say we are proud of Hong Kong citizens for standing up to their tyrannical government.
Absolutely, China sucks.
It's like, listen, it's like Hong Kong citizens.
Well, CCP sucks. CCP sucks.
Chinese Communist Party, right? Yeah, okay.
CCP.
That's hard to say. CCP.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Especially 3 beers in.
Yeah. But actually, matter of fact, yep, we are empty.
Yeah.
Okay. But we have spares in the fridge. But yeah, it's like it's not weird to say we are proud of a nation that is standing up to tyrannical government rule.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I don't think America does it enough.
No, we should. I mean, the fact that we haven't mentioned anything about it in our actual government mentioning the things that the only thing that they've said is that China has a right to protest, and I'm like, that's not enough. You shouldn't say that they have a right to protest. You should be supporting what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's too many people in the pockets of the. Anyway, that's a whole another ball game.
This is a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, whole nother. That'll be on our religion debate.
Yeah, we'll tack that on.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one, honestly.
Oh,
we should do cigars for that one since we normally do beers for this one.
But like cigars and beer for the religious and political debate later.
That'll be a fun one, honestly. But he does the whole, you know, you're not a eunuch, and let's see if I can get this pause right. Right there. All right, y'all guys can't see this. I'll have to move us. So let me move us real quick. Boom. We're over here now. Woo. Anyway. If you look over here, since we talked about this before,
the wrist tattoo.
The wrist tattoo. This is a reference to the Lord of the Rings when Will Turner, or not Will Turner, oh god, what? Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
He played Legolas in the Lord of the Rings, which is another movie that I very much love. And the whole Fellowship, the 9 members of the Fellowship, all got together and these movies were actually, unlike many movies, they were all 3 were filmed at once.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you were talking about, what was it about?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so it's like...
I'm going to pee real quick.
Yeah, no problem, but like... Oh, Jesus.
It's fine.
It shook the whole station.
It's okay.
It's fine. But yeah, like, this is a fun fact about the Fellowship of the Ring, the original trilogy of Lord of the Rings movies that, were filmed in the early 2000s. Orlando Bloom playing Legolas and all that, so which is why he has this tattoo. This tattoo right here on his wrist symbolizes the number 9. To symbolize, like, call back to the 9 members of the Fellowship, And at first I thought, like, it was the numbers 1 through 9, but actually, like, every member just has the number 9 on their wrist. And Peter Jackson also has a tattoo.
Number 10.
Number 10, right, because he's the 10th member of the Fellowship. So, every member has this tattoo because they were just so in love with the franchise and so in love with the movie, and they had great chemistry together. And so they were all just like, let's get fucking wrist tattoos. Let's just get tattoos to symbolize, like, our importance and our like bonding experience of filming these movies, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's like kind of like how Jeremy and Shay have matching tattoos of the Halo franchise.
Yeah, we actually do. Shay has it on her
hip.
No, right over here, and then mine.
It's on your shoulder. Yeah,
it's right here.
The mark of shame.
Yeah, mark of shame that the
right,
Arbiter gets in Halo 2, which actually isn't my favorite Halo game. Although I've been more fond of it now since I've been more interested in cinematics and writing and things like that. I've grown a more fondness for the Halo 2 campaign, but that is when the Arbiter gets the mark of shame, and we had a connection with that because I love Halo, and her brother, who had unfortunately passed away, his favorite Halo game was Halo 2.
Loved Halo 2.
Yeah,
me too.
Halo 2 had
Halo
a fantastic story, so that was kind of a connection that me and Shay had, and so we ended up getting matching tattoos of that.
Yeah, and in a previous episode of this whole, like, channel, we have previously stated that if Jeremy met Shay for the first time and she had books about Halo, he would dick her down on the first date.
I mean, yes.
Yes. You'd have to at that point.
Yes.
You'd be an idiot
honestly,
not
it's an
to.
obligation.
Yeah. You'd be an idiot not to.
Right.
But the thing about the Fellowship of the Ring is, like, originally during the first, like, kind of like shooting, is like the producers of the movies had, like, a negotiation dispute with Peter Jackson, the director. And they were like, fuck the trilogy. We need to condense all of these books into one singular movie. And Peter Jackson was like, that is fucking impossible.
Get some more beers for us.
That is impossible. You cannot condense so much content and so much context and detail into a singular movie. Like, this has to be a trilogy. It has to. Honestly, if Peter Jackson had his way, this shit would have gone on for like 6 fucking movies, or like even more probably, because he's just such a big fan of the J.R.R. Tolkien series. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, obviously. So he's like, no, it's like, absolutely not. We are not doing one singular movie, and this was like a huge, this was a huge blowout. Like, the Lord of the Rings almost did not happen because of this.
Oh man, it was
But
crazy.
Eventually, Peter Jackson did get his way. He did get the trilogy, obviously. Now
Victory
that we
or
know
Land
today.
Shark?
Oh, I'll just take a victory.
Right. Of course, you take the higher percentage.
Of course I do.
Asshole. I wanted that one. Okay.
If you want it.
No. I'm just
I was like, dude, I was just picking the one that was closest to me. But yeah, so Peter Jackson finally won this negotiation dispute, and he got his trilogy, obviously, now that we know today. The hilarious thing is that the producer that was, fighting him on this was Harvey Weinstein. That one.
That guy.
That Harvey Weinstein. And Peter Jackson was so pissed at Harvey for all of that he literally, based an Uruk, or an orc, off of Harvey Weinstein. And it's obviously, the most fucked up, disfigured, horrifically ugly orc in the whole franchise. And Peter Jackson, made that orc specifically to fuck with Harvey Weinstein.
That's fantastic.
And it's just so beautiful.
I love it.
We love it.
everything about it, man. But yeah, so with Will Turner over here, he claps back with, "I practice 3 hours a day, so that whenever I meet a pirate, I can kill it." And I love this. Well, okay, so maybe he says him, because I always thought as a kid he said kill it. That's interesting. We were missing so many words over here when it comes to this, so let's see.
It's like, you're not a eunuch, practice 3 hours a day, so that when I meet a pirate, I can kill him.
Yeah. See, when I was, I would have appreciated this, because I thought he said it. I can kill it, which I thought would have been a really good idea, because it would make a pirate and a thing much less
rather than a human.
Right.
Like a less than human person.
Right. So the fact that the subtitles are saying that they use him.
Also, Will, be better. You're being very sexist by not including women and pirates.
Yeah, obviously. And they go back into some spats, and they get up on this wheelbarrow, and the not wheelbarrow. I'm sorry, we said that earlier.
I'm gonna say wheelbarrow because it's basically a cart.
It's a cart.
Well, it has wheels and
so,
shit.
Yeah. They walk up on this cart, and the cart was propped up on legs. Legs give out, and then because they're up on this thing, it falls off the edge, and now they're in this situation because honestly, trying to get off this because they're counterbalancing with their weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
When someone else is holding the weight, trying to get off that is not going to be easy.
No, that's super wonky.
Yeah, you either have to go closer to them or further away.
Imagine like sword fighting in the middle of an earthquake.
Exactly. So it's going to be hard to get off this thing. So now they're here, and so they get into their fighting. Swords are clashing. Music is playing, and I love the music. And you brought up a good point. So
the scene is coming up where it's like we can see the chain whipping around.
Right. Where they're combating, they're going at it, and their connections are pretty closely. Look, you got Jack. Let's see. Let me get the image away real quick. Jack's coming in for a full slice here. So they're actually doing their thing. He's going in for an attack on the body and not on the sword, which is good. And Will whips around. Boom. Right. Boom. Catches the chain.
And Jack is smiling. He's like, "Gotcha again, bitch."
Gotcha again, motherfucker. Like, he's like, "I got you."
But Will does not fall for the same trick twice.
Look at this genius brain right here.
Yeah, this galaxy brain move.
This gamma energy.
And he's like, "I'm not falling for the same trick twice." Boom. Pins him.
Sends it up into the wood, right?
Yeah, because we saw earlier, it's like Jack used his chain to, like, disarm him. Will, he's like Iron Man, man. He learns from his mistakes. He's not going to fall for the same trick twice.
So as soon as, like, Jack tries to pull away, Will feeds that energy up into the ceiling, and then boom. Sword's now embedded in the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jack's like, "Well, shit, this is a problem."
But he still has a sword, so.
Yeah. And so he starts swinging left and right, boom, boom, doing his thing. He's kind of like, "Shit, get the fuck away from me. This is bad.
He's just like whipping his sword wildly just to keep a distance.
Right, exactly. And then fucking kicks
like
the
plank of wood.
It pops up, and oh man, it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just the slapstick combat. Like,
it's a very fun fight scene.
It's a super fun fight scene. Here, let me move us back since we're over here. There we go. But yeah, no, it's a super fun fight scene. I love it.
Yeah.
He puts his legs fully up on the plank, trying to pull it out, legs and everything. And I love it because Will is like, has that kind of "I have you now."
I got you now.
I got you. You're all mine. Runs up, and then like it makes this sound.
Jack's got this face on him. He realizes like
the sword's.
Oh, good. The sword is coming loose. Oh shit! The sword is coming loose.
Yeah, because his back is facing towards it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think this is where we left off before. So we've progressed a minute.
Awesome.
2 minutes. It's great. Falls. Boom. It sends fucking Will Turner flying up into the rafters. Yeah, the scaffolding.
Into the rafters.
Oh man. And Jack's like, where the hell did he go? And then he looks back up and kind of smiles at it. And then Will sees this line, cuts it, and Jack's like, shit, this is a problem. This is not good.
It's like,
boom, sends him up into the rafters.
This guy is so much more trouble than he ever anticipated.
Right, exactly. And so they continue. I love this because they're hopping back and forth, and Jack is like, he's gonna hop again. Hops again. He's like, shit. And Will's like, I got you now. And they do.
See,
some
Will
work
is clever. He
Will
does
is
catch
clever.
on.
He's
catches
smart.
on.
He's a smart guy. And then boom. Here, let me try and see if I can catch that again.
Oh yeah, the full disarm.
Yeah, the full disarm. Yeah. And so he hops back over. And he's like, shit. Boom. Do. Dun 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 dun. So boom. So Jack is now fully disarmed. He has nothing but his gun, right? Which he has not used yet, by the way. Mm-hmm. Which is something important for later plot.
And he will say a line that adds context to that.
I love that line.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack's like, shit. Will's like, I got you now. You're fucking mine. Jack does his thing. He gets down. And then right here, instinctively, when Will goes to the aggression, Jack pulls out sand, fucking sands his eyes, kicks the sword, and then before anything, when Will goes to grab something, because this is a blacksmith shop, looks up, boom, gun to the face. Game over, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you can't disarm a gun.
You can't combat that with a melee weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, not unless this is a movie, and that's what I like about this movie is that they don't let this be they don't let that, they don't do the whole like switch thing, you know, that you see in a lot of like combat movies and shit.
Yeah, just like a self-defense lesson for the audience here. This is something that they teach in the Navy that my brother Braden, he can attest to because they actually like practice this in the Navy. If you are like Jeremy, where you have an open carry license.
Sure.
You have your gun in your holster, and there is a man, or I'm not going to be sexist, there is somebody approaching you with a knife, and they're ready to stab you. 30 feet, you have 30 feet. Within those 30 feet, the knife will win. The knife will win all the time. Because people don't realize it. They think 30 feet is a lot longer than it really is. But the thing is, like, you can get from point A to point B. If it's 30 feet, you can get that within, like, a second or two.
Yes, that is very close.
It's very close. So the time that it takes you to pull out your gun, aim, fire, the knife is already in you at one point. So it's like, even if you get your shot off, the knife has made purchase.
You have to be very well practiced to get your firearm out of that position in time.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And it's like,
which means if they're closer than that, because they usually are, no contest.
No contest. The knife will win.
Yeah, because you don't imagine somebody to be threatening you from 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be threatening you from like half a foot away, if not more.
Exactly.
Maybe a little bit more.
So it's like, you cannot pull out your gun, take aim, fire within 30 feet. Within the time that it takes to travel 30 feet anyway.
Right.
So, and every foot beyond 30 feet will increase your chances of winning that fight. But that's the thing, is like, after 30 feet, it's not like your chances go up from 0 to 100. It's going up by like 1% each foot.
Right.
Albeit
probably exponential, but still.
Exponential, sure. Exponential, yeah, whatever. But just know that, like, if a guy has, like, a knife and he's approaching you, you better fucking hope that that dude is further than 30 feet away, because he will win.
Yeah.
So it's like...
The only time... Because the only time that you can win in that situation is if you have some form of element of surprise as a distraction... Yeah. Or concealing yourself from said person. Yeah. It's the only ways that you can win.
So, for your own safety, if someone is approaching you with a knife with the intention
of
attacking, don't even reach for the gun. You are wasting precious seconds. that you could be using to like defend, block, disarm.
Right.
So, and if it doesn't, and if you don't even get the chance to disarm, just give them your fucking wallet.
Yeah. So in this situation, Will's kind of fucked because the gun is trained on him.
It's already out.
It's already out. Right? He's done for. And so Will's like, shit, this is a problem. And I like this line because they were having a basically combat contest. And he says, "You cheated."
Yeah. By pulling a gun out in a sword fight.
Yeah, he's like, this was a sword fight and you broke the normal rules of engagement.
It's like, well, Will, if you didn't spend your entire life watching soldiers of the British Army,
yeah,
you would know that pirates don't really give a shit about rules.
I love that line because he's like, you cheated, and he goes, pirate.
Pirate.
He's like, pirate. It's what I do. I don't live by your rules, buddy.
Yeah.
I win to win, which honestly is pretty effective strategy.
Yeah.
It's like, you cheated. It's like, yeah. What are you going to do about it?
It's like, you're a cheater. Yeah, and you're dead. So.
Exactly. Jack has a very strong point there. And then boom, the guards are now here. The sword is embedded, I believe, in the wood. I think we agreed on that.
I think
the sword is
in
embedded
the wood.
in the wood, not in the crack, albeit it kind of looked like that. It's embedded in the wood. And so Will gets in front of the door and he's trying to be, altruistic. It shows his commitment to stopping pirates, right?
Yeah.
Shows his commitment to pirates. And he's like, move away. And as a pirate, if you say move away and Will says no, you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
As a pirate, you're like, okay.
Oh,
bam.
well. Whatever.
Oh, well. But he says, please move. He actually asks kindly. He's like, please get out of the way.
I don't want to shoot you. Yes,
which is a big point, right? And by the way, you can't see it because it's blurred out right here. Even if I get out the overlay, can't see it because the image is blurred out. The gun is not cocked.
No, the hammer isn't even cocked back.
No, the hammer is not cocked back, which is very important because he's threatening, essentially with an empty threat. He's got an empty threat right here.
Yeah.
It's not going to fire because it can't fire because it's not cocked back.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's still wet from the water earlier.
Yeah. He literally came into this situation half cocked, right? Which is something that you don't want to do. But Will stays determined. No. He's like, I'm not going to move. And then he's like, I can't just step aside while I let you escape. He's being altruistic. He's being like, I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to stop you. No matter if it kills me. Which is atonement to his character.
Yeah, he's an honorable man with a code.
You're right. And then Will...
He cocks it.
Then
and he's like...
And then he's got the face. He's like... Fuck. But he says this really good line. I love this. This shot is not made... is not meant for you. Sorry.
Yeah.
That. This shot is not meant for you.
Which will be explained later.
It's a setup. It's a fantastic setup. I love it because he's not just wanting to not kill Will for...
This is why I always say you should watch this movie more than once. Because you catch details that you missed earlier.
Exactly.
When he says, this shot is not meant for you, that kind of makes you think...
Who's it meant for?
That bullet has a name on it.
Yeah.
Which is probably why he doesn't have additional shots.
Exactly, which is what they said earlier.
Yeah.
No additional shots nor powder. A compass that doesn't work, and I have to expect it to be made of wood. All that whole line.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blase, blase. But he says this shot is not made for you. So it shows that he might, he might sail, oh God, what is the line? He might sail by the seat of his pants. He might fly by the seat of his pants. But it has a purpose. He might not have additional shots or powder, but he has that for a reason. Because he's like, I have one shot, and that's meant for one particular motherfucker.
Yeah. A motherfucker who crossed me.
Exactly. And so it's a great setup because you know when you first see Jack, you're like, oh, this man just lives recklessly.
It is a setup, but it has amazing payoff.
Oh, amazing payoffs! Oh God, I love the payoff of the.
I'm gonna see if Domino's is open.
Sure,
We've had 4 beers in us at this point.
I love.
We're a little frat boy hungry.
I love the payoff of the third act. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
Totally great.
Oh,
I have
God.
like Ben Shapiro eyebrows.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, very burrowed, very brown. But this shot is not meant for you. Obviously, a setup for later. And then even Will is confused by this.
He's like,
As
the
you
fuck
can
do you
see.
mean by that?
Yeah, he's like, what are you talking about? This shot's not made for you. Who are you planning on shooting? You're just a random pirate. And then of course, bam, glass is knocked over Jack's head, making him unconscious.
Hilarious, by the way.
Very funny.
Also, I always wondered who the actor that played the Master Blacksmith was. Because that face is kind of familiar if you rewind it a little bit. Where it's like,
Mr.
well, we're going to see it again.
Yeah, we'll see his face. Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown. Because that's a short, stout guy, kind of
Gotcha.
heavy and muscular.
Hold on, I got you.
I believe
Mr.
it was Jay
Brown.
Brown.
Mr. Brown, Pirates of the Caribbean. Ralph P. Martin.
Ralph P. Martin. That's not a name I recognize.
Me neither.
Hmm.
I don't need that. Who is the blacksmith? John Brown was the owner of a smithy in the town of Port Royal.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Ralph P. Martin. Didn't play a big role in this movie, but I do appreciate his lines and stuff.
Yeah.
I do love this scene because Will has essentially been fighting Jack, sword fights and all,
For like
clashing
for like 5 to 8 minutes, which
Yes.
is a lifetime.
a long time in combat.
Yeah.
Most combat, if I'm not mistaken, God, this was a stat that I heard years ago, but most sword combat lasts from 5 to 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Not very long.
No.
So this has been a solid at least minute and a half of full combat, right? And so Mr. Brown comes in with this broken bottle of rum, busts it over Jack's head, and then they show up and they're like, "You've assisted in the capture of a dangerous fugitive," and he's like, "Just doing my civic duty, sir."
By smashing my fucking rum bottle across a pirate's
It's
head.
like you're a drunken bastard and you did none of the work.
And of course, Will, being the little limp dick beta bitch that he is, does not speak up about it.
Yeah, look at his fucking face.
He's just like, well, yeah, that's typical.
He's like, you got credit for the sword.
You
got
get credit for
the
the pirate capture?
The pirate capture.
He's like, why the fuck not at this point? This might as well happen.
he's like, why is this my life? He's like, why is this everything that's come to my life? Why is this what I do? This is bullshit. Oh, it's so funny. I love it. He's just like, are you fucking serious?
Wow. That's all Will has to say right now is wow.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It's so funny yet so stupid. It's great. Let's see. Oh yes, this is the moment that Captain Jack Sparrow almost escaped, and so he kind of does a little play on the line that Jack told him. And then boom, more dark sounds. Then we have I guess this is the gallows, with the dog. Obviously the dog is trained not to go towards them, and it's more of just an enticing thing. And Jack is just being nonchalant. He's like, the dog's never gonna move. Y'all guys are not worth trying it. And then, like, forgive us if we haven't, fully accepted the gallows just yet. So I guess this isn't the gallows, it's just prison.
Yeah.
But I get gallows is the hanging.
I mean, they're going to eventually be hanged.
They're like, well, forgive us for not, just accepting our life. And Jack's just being nonchalant because he kind of works his way out of most situations. And then it hard cuts from prison.
Oh, back to Elizabeth Swann.
To the comfy
And the
life of
handmaiden
Elizabeth.
with the nice titties.
Yeah. I thought about that as a kid, but now I really think about that as an adult.
Yeah.
And so I think I missed a line.
Listen, there is a reason why Elizabeth's father has freaky three-ways with that handmaidens.
So the lady's talking about how the handmaid is talking about his difficult day, and Elizabeth is kind of talking about Norrington's proposal.
Oh yeah, because
she's like, you've had a hell of a day. She's thinking about the pirate attack, and then Elizabeth's over here is like, yeah, I thought Norrington would propose, but it's still crazy. And she's like, but I wasn't entirely prepared for it. She's like, I meant that pirate, the guy that held you at gunpoint.
She was like, that was like 5 seconds of my life.
Yeah. So it must have been terrifying. And she's like, oh yeah. It was totally terrifying. But in all honesty, because this is the way the movie's being portrayed, she more found it fascinating and interesting and exciting. She's sexually
aroused by being held captive.
She was very, very interested.
She's
and excited.
Into it.
I would say excited.
She's into the bondage, is what I'm saying. She likes a dangerous
18th century BDSM. No.
Yeah, it's like she likes a dangerous guy who is a threat to her.
Right. And honestly, it's dangerous. It's dangerous and competent.
I'm just saying, there's a reason why Dead by Daylight has a very predominantly female audience. If you know what Dead by Daylight is.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's the video game where you play serial killers and they chase. Yeah, it's because some women, think that it's sexy to be chased down by a very dangerous, imposing physical figure.
Jesus.
Yeah. Take that, beta lib cucks. Sorry, SJWs. Yeah, it's just like women think that, I don't know, maybe dangerous men are kind of sexy a little bit.
We're kind of hot. No.
Yeah. So
us gamma males.
Us gamma males. When you see Jeremy with his fucking, open license firearm on his hip, there are women who are frothing out the gash for that.
Oh my god. But the Commodore proposed. Fancy that. The handmaid says. So she's like, no, I was talking about She's like, oh yeah, but the Commodore proposed. Whoa, that's so crazy. She was saying that it's a smart match if it's not too bold to say. Again, another sense of propriety.
Yeah, where it's like,
know your place.
I don't want to
I don't want to push on that.
I don't want to push, but I am saying I do fully support that you would be with a high-ranking military member.
Right, a smart match.
Although I will say, it is a smart match. Kind of leaves out a lot of romance and love.
Well, yeah, a lot of old marriages were not necessarily based on love. They were based on what was the smarter match.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Elizabeth being the daughter of the governor.
You want to marry someone who was also not necessarily equal in stature, but someone who also is well off. That was the whole thing with the women's dowry. Right?
That's the thing. Oh, okay, so it was dowry, which is a paid sum.
Right.
To compensate, hey, there's a reason to marry this woman. Because there's a lot of wealth behind her name.
Exactly.
But it's Elizabeth being the daughter of the governor, a high status for a political figure, especially in the Caribbean islands.
Yes. Port Royal.
Port Royal, above all. But also Norrington, being a high-ranking member of the military, he clearly shows, a level of, propriety, of civil duty, of bravery.
A man of stature. He's got all the qualities for the most part. He's just really fucking old compared to her.
Yeah, I mean, he was 20 when she was 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, but now that she's 20 and he's 30,
it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's he's what any woman should dream of marrying.
Right.
So it's she acknowledges that she should feel lucky that Norrington has an interest in her.
Exactly, but she doesn't feel that necessarily. But then the audacity of this handmaiden. She comes out and she's like, but that Will Turner, he's a fine man too.
Which, first of all, how the fuck does the handmaid know Will Turner at all?
She slept with him.
Will Turner is, after all, getting that work. He's not a eunuch, and he's not wooing one girl.
He's after that handmaid. I mean, that's the closest he can get. He just wants to get to Elizabeth. And he's like, if I have to go through
He's like, listen, if it's not Elizabeth, I might as well bang the handmaiden with the nice tits.
She at least knows Elizabeth. I can at least, talk to her about her.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't love the handmaiden, but...
But tell me more about Elizabeth.
Yeah. And it's like, it'd be like, man, I'm so in love with Shay. I might as well fuck Linda while I'm at...
Oh, God. That's fantastic. But she's like, well, Turner, fine man, too. And then, boom, immediately puts her in her place. That is too bold. She's like, you're pushing it too far. He's a lowly blacksmith. He has no standard or no stature in this world, right? He's just a lowly man.
Mm-hmm.
She knows her. She's essentially trying to know her place. She's like, I'm above a blacksmith. Right? That's kind of the idea of that. And so she says that is too bold. And she's like, all right, beg your pardon, not my place, and she backs the fuck off. Right? She goes and does her thing, leaves.
Goes to suck the governor's cock a little bit.
But at the same time, she's still fiddling with Will Turner's fucking medallion. So she obviously has some feelings for him. And
she does have genuine feelings for Will.
And then, of course, they do this little thing. It's a classic trope where, you shine the artifact onto onto fire, and the fire goes out. Or flickers, right?
Yeah.
Classic trope. Signifying that now this is a darkened area. Cuts to Will... hammering away at his blacksmith, dead of night, still working. And I love this, right? He looks out. Now he's looking across the road, right?
Yeah.
When he looks, what does he see pass by? He actually doesn't acknowledge it, I just noticed. But when he looks out, boom, black cat.
A symbol of bad luck.
Symbol of bad luck. Bad omen. Bad omen going on. Black cat strolls through. So, this is the setup from the win that we saw earlier. The win was in the favor of something. What was in a favor of?
The Black Pearl.
The Black Pearl.
The Black Cat. The Black Handmaiden.
This ship is sailing in. Cannons are fucking ready, by the way.
Oh yeah,
like they're
they
open
waste
up.
no time. They're
Here,
ready to fire.
Let me get this open. Yeah. Yeah, cannons up at the ready. Y'all guys can readily see those cannons are up, ready to go. Right?
They wasted
ominous
no
music
time.
is playing. Yeah, wasted no time, ready to fucking go. And the governor is now talking to this guy, asking about
Norrington.
Yeah, Norrington, whether or not she's given an answer. And he's like, well, she's had a bit of a fucking day. Let's be real. And he's like, ghastly weather, bleak. And there's a rumbling. I never heard this as a kid, but maybe my speakers weren't loud enough or I was playing it too quietly. But there's a rumbling that you hear. Mm-hmm. And the governor obviously notices this, if y'all guys can tell with the expression on his face. Let me remove that. There we go. And he's like, the fuck is that?
He's thinking like, man, it's late. I should get home to my handmaid.
Yeah, he's like, what was that sound? And then boom, Norrington picks up on it and he goes, oh shit.
That is cannon fire.
That is cannon fire. Get the fuck down. Cannon fire down. Boom. Explosion. Return fire, and they start firing back. And then boom, it cuts to Jack. Now, when this assault is going on, this is a big deal. You don't just assault Port Royal.
No.
Right? This is a big deal. Jack is sitting here
in the gallows.
It takes
a fleet to assault Port Royal.
Right. More than that, honestly. Cannons firing. As soon as the cannons fire, right? Boom. As soon as Norrington acknowledges the cannon fire, right? It cuts to Jack. Why does it cut to Jack? Because this is his ship.
Yeah.
This is the ship that he loves. It's a setup that y'all guys don't know about.
He is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow. Yeah, what was he captain of?
The Black Pearl.
I mean, yes. And so he's like, yeah, I know those cannons. He's like, what the fuck is this ship doing here? Boom. Gets up, looks out. And as you see, the ship is just blasting away. firing away at the port, just giving zero fucks, right? And then you get the line that I love, especially with this imagery of Jack looking on, almost like you know, with the fact that he wants it. It's like, there it is in his eyes, the thing that he's been seeking for 10 years.
Oh yeah, because I'm assuming that Jack was marooned on an island at the same time Elizabeth found Will Turner.
Yes, beforehand. Actually,
roughly around the same time.
Yeah, but it was before that, if I'm not mistaken. Because Will had the Aztec gold.
It would have had to have been before, because Will had the Aztec gold and they were already cursed. Jack was marooned before the curse took hold.
Right.
Blah 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 blah. But anyway, it was roughly around that time. So yes. Jack has been on the hunt for the Black Pearl for like 10 years at least.
Oh man, super long time. But yeah, here he is, and he's kind of looking at it like, there it is. I've been looking for you for years. And he's like, it's the pearl. It's almost like he says it almost with a hint of love behind it. Like he's like,
it's the pearl.
It's the pearl. Like he's like excited but also worried at the same time. You know, there's a lot of emotion going on in that line. And then boom, all the geezers in the jail cell. You know, the Black Pearl, because that's obviously what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Heard stories, and this is of course your exposition dump. But it makes sense in this context because, you know, it's a bunch of it's a bunch of goons in a jail cell, and they're like, you know, I've heard shit, been preying on ships and settlements for near 10 years, so now we know the length of time, right?
Yeah.
We know that this Black Pearl that Elizabeth Swann saw 10 years ago has been roaming around for about that amount of time.
Yes.
The ship that she saw was a new cursed ship.
Yes.
Right? So we understand that. And I love this. Never leaves any survivors.
Never.
And he's
besides Will Turner.
Yeah, and Jack's like, no survivors? Where do the stories come from? Which I always thought was a good line.
You know,
it's a decent line. It's like the Black Pearl, you know, I've heard stories of the Black Pearl. The fact that it never leaves any survivors. He's like, no survivors. He's like, well, where the fuck do the stories come from?
Exactly. It's like the black. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like Jack being clever, and it's like, obviously there have been survivors. Otherwise, there would be no stories to tell.
Exactly.
But you know, that's just Jack being clever. It's like a funny throwaway.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, there are ways to counteract it. You know, I mean, hell, if a village entirely was destroyed, people would still know about it.
Well,
you know,
I mean, travelers from other villages might visit it.
There's ways around it, but still, I think it's still a clever line, and it's funny, and it at least gives you food for thought, and it just like, it adds to Jack's like knowledge and wit.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, it's also like, if you are the world's greatest assassin, no one would know that you are the world's greatest assassin.
Right.
It's like playing hide and seek. If you were the hide and seek champion, no one has ever found you ever.
Right.
And so no one knows that you were the hide and seek champion.
Exactly. You know, that's the whole thing, is that you don't get glory without recognition.
Exactly.
Right? So of course, you know, you have some Hollywood effects here where there's fire, there's more cannon fire doesn't necessarily create explosions that are fiery like these. It's actually more
a concussive impact.
Yes, like for instance, you know, you're not going to see the fire over here.
Like that dude flying in the air.
Right. Which you see how it explodes, right? You know, the fire's one thing, which you're going to see more of. So not necessarily that explosion that you see.
I think, although I am willing to excuse that, because like it doesn't come across as like a full blown explosion. It mostly comes across as just like sparks flying and shrapnel flying.
Right.
Sparks and shrapnel flying is, you know, similar to a grenade.
Right. So actually, this is a good one. So for instance, this explosion, right? Sparks. Yeah, that was a bit better. This cannon fire, that's an explosion, right? That's not going to happen necessarily.
That is full blown explosion.
Yes.
Though.
But one that I really like is this shot right here. When this explosion, boom, that quick cut. That desecration right there.
Yeah.
No real sparks, just boom. See all
boom,
that.
Boom. Just metal balls hitting stone.
Right. That's what you're gonna find, right? And that's what I think is good. And then of course the little kid.
The little kid who's like crying for his parents, like, "Where's my mother?" And then he dies.
No, actually, he gets picked up by a lady.
This show wished that it had the balls to kill that kid on screen.
I bet they thought about it.
They thought about it.
They're like, man, we should just have a guy come in and slit the throat.
They should just have like a cannonball, just like hit him on the side of the head.
just decapitate him entirely.
Just like that.
But yeah, so the Black Belt. Now, from what we talked about in last podcast, there was a historian that came up and they're like, yeah, one ship going against Port Royal, not very realistic.
It's not a normal ship.
Not a normal ship.
It's a literal ghost ship.
It's an actual ghost ship, with a ghost crew. So I can give it some supernatural abilities that would not come to regular ships.
I mean, if you're dealing with like cursed Aztec gold, everything else just kind of gets thrown out the window anyway. Anyway,
At least as far go for it.
Yeah.
At least as far as realism goes. So we'll carry on here. They begin their main assault. It's a bunch of. Now this, in my opinion, is pirates as how you would normally see them. These are actual pirates, actual bad people pirates. Because pirates, in a historical context, were not good people. Terrible people came in to try and take what they want, give no fucks. They were very, they were bad people. Had no morals, right? They just took what they wanted, and they could care less how you felt about it. They come in, they raid, pillage, and plunder, take your stuff, and then they go on. This scene really shows how bad pirates can be. This is what real pirates were actually like. I think, maybe not in the explosive sense, in the fact that they're throwing grenades here and there, and that they're on a ghost ship and this sort of stuff. But pillaging and plundering is something that they did. They would go in, they would take your shit, they would do, of course, awful things to both women and children. They would be terrible people, right? This is obviously on the not necessarily hyperbolic side, but it's exacerbated in some senses where it's a lot of explosions, a lot of like violence and things like that. Less on darker themes, of course, because it is a Disney movie. But I do think it highlights it well. Now, Will, obviously seeing this stuff going down and being the hero that he was like, I faced one pirate, I can face other ones. He decides to gear up, takes a hatchet, takes a sword, runs out, right? He's like, I'm going to combat these guys. And he sees, this is his blacksmith shop, right? There's this guy chasing a woman. He's got grenades, right? That's kind of what he's known for, is throwing bombs and stuff like that. He runs out. First pirate he sees, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna ace him. Boom, hatchet, throw, boom, into the back, right? That guy, he's like, oh yeah, that guy dropped his nades, he's KO. That's it. Runs out, picks up the hatchet. It continues. Shots are firing. Swords are clashing and stabbing. There's a lot of combat going on. Will's getting into the fray.
Will's a hero.
Will's an absolute hero. And, it's showing what pirates really are.
Yeah, it's like, they are pillagers, they are rapers, they are, like, violent men.
Yeah, they're terrible. They are definitely terrible people. They're going in, they're fighting. Now, there was a good thing. There was a good point that one of the guys brought out, even aside from the ghost ship. In Port Royal, there's not much need for cavalry.
Yeah, well, it's an island.
It's an island, exactly. So, I do agree with him in the sense that bringing out horses was not necessarily the best option.
No.
Doesn't make too much sense. So I do agree with him there. But again, that's 2 shots, not even a single scene.
Yeah.
So I can look past that. But again, we're turning fire. We're trying to fire on the ship. Let's see. Norrington's giving off orders, more cartridges, and then he looks at the governor. He says, "Barricade yourself inside my office." Giving him an order to do so. Elizabeth is coming out here and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
I think it'd be rather exciting to meet a pirate.
Yeah, and this is what you come across. Like, the entire Port Royal is being attacked by one ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I believe is right here. So we're looking at it logistically.
Yeah,
this is the ship.
Right here.
And it's attacking Port Royal. Port Royal is firing back. They're already ashore, setting aflame to many of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so this is bad. This is bad for Port Royal.
This makes me want to play Black Flag again.
Oh man,
dude, how fucking great was Black Flag? Oh my god, one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever. Up there with Assassin's Creed 2 and
y'all guys can see it right here. I got a little figure of
Edward. Nice.
Yeah. I actually don't know what kind of minifigure he's from. Let's see, Extreme Play, all rights reserved. But I do have a little figure of Edward Kenway from Black Flag that sits on my desk.
I should revisit that game.
Dude, it's the only game I've 100%ed.
Yeah?
Or not the only game, but I've 100%ed very few games. This one I 100%ed twice.
Nice.
I fucking love Black Flag. It's so much.
It's so
I have
good.
it. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm gonna fuck up this window. I have it on my PC. If Ubisoft wasn't so stupid, because you have to have a Ubisoft Connect and you have to have your game particularly associated with this login, all that shit, right? It's BS. And I don't remember necessarily my login info.
No,
so
me neither.
I have to try and remember that. I put in my password accidentally too many times, and now my shit was locked down, and I have to try and wait until that's...
Yeah,
It's a whole fucking thing with EA.
I forgot my password that I made 8 years ago when the game came out.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, if I can remember that, I just gotta send myself my email. Hopefully it should be back by now, but it should be back online. I just need to try it out again. Because I think it had an update, so I had to re-sign in. And I'm like, why? It was a whole ordeal. Yeah. So, but I'm excited to open up Black Flag and finally get ships available because I'll have mods and stuff available on PC.
Dude,
and that's gonna be fun.
I cannot wait for my PC to get in,
dude,
because I will be able to mod Fallout and Oblivion again. You know, there is a mod available which merges Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas into one game.
That's awesome.
And it actually restores cut content from both games.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's entire segments and total areas that were cut from the game because of space usage and shit.
Right.
But that mod actually restores that content back, because it's that's the thing about games is when they cut content, they don't get rid of it, they just bury it underneath the data.
Exactly.
In case modders want to bring it out,
which is good,
which I think is smart. It's good to do.
Yes.
It's if a modding community wants to bring that cut content out, they can, because it's just buried underneath the coding.
Absolutely. So as we continue, the pirates are coming in, and Elizabeth's like, "Oh shit, pirates are fucking here."
Yeah. How exciting!
I love this. This is probably a critique of the movie.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that cannons are going off, blowing up parts of Port Royal. There's banging on the door, and the butler is like, "Oh yeah, I'll just answer the door."
Okay.
And she straight up runs down, and she's like, "Don't." And he opens the door, and they're like, "Hello, chum," and fucking blasts his face
shoots
off.
him in the fucking face. Just I love this fall. Take the overlay out. I love this fall. He just planks, falls down flat.
Oh, just fucking god. He took a double barrel to the face. It's so funny. 3214. Let's see if I can bring that up.
Yeah, rewind 10 seconds.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
This butler.
He's just like, "Can I help you?"
With his powder wig, he's like, welcome to our estate. And then takes a fucking bullet to the face.
Hello, chum. And it's like a sawed-off shotgun.
That's a sawed-off shotgun. That is a double-barrel flintlock.
Oh my god, just bam to the fucking
And Elizabeth's
face.
like fucking expression. I love her expression. Rewind again.
Alright. I love this shit. It's so
This is so great.
It's
It's
fantastic.
like, boom, boom. She's running to the stairwell.
She's
She
like,
sees-
don't open the fucking
Don't
door.
open the fucking door.
The fact that they knocked. Hello, chum. Boom, boom.
And it's like, oh my fucking god, I just saw a man die. I just saw a man get shot in the fucking face.
Like the screech too, like
Yeah.
fully. She's
like-
fully like, oh my god, this just happened. Like, oh
She
my god.
screeches like a mouse.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And then they see they're up there, so she runs up, she's like, oh shit, what the fuck? She starts running for it, right? She's going crazy. Adrenaline's pumping, right?
close the door.
Boom, turns around, has a little jump scare because she sees her friend.
Get the
and-
fuck away from the door.
And she's like, and the handmaiden obviously makes the assumption she's like, they come to kidnap you.
Well, you're the governor's daughter. Of course you have a high status.
Boom! You're the governor's you're the governor's daughter. She's like, of course they're coming to kidnap you. You're the governor's daughter. Why else would they have come to Port Royal?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're a daughter of high stature, right? And she's like, shit, they're here for me. And she's like, they haven't seen the handmaiden. Hide in the first chance you get. Run to the fort.
Yeah, the most defensible place.
Exactly, makes sense. Boom, breaks open the door. Elizabeth is like, I know they're gonna catch me. Boom. Of course, a little slapstick.
A little
hits
slap,
hits him. Not only that, but hits them with a thing that was set up earlier.
With the heating pan.
The heating pan, exactly.
Which
Boom.
is red hot.
Which is red hot, and then, the guy
with the glass eye.
with the glass eye. Is
We don't know that he has a glass eye yet,
trying
but
to be creepy. Well, actually, we do because he's fiddling with it before he puts it in when he shows up on shore.
oh yeah, that's right. Well,
So we do know he's got a glass eye, and then she's like, "I got you now." Boom. Fucking hot. It's
hot
like
coals.
hot coals. Yeah.
That was funny. It's like
It's burning.
we don't know this yet, but it's like it's a 20-year-old movie.
Yes.
But it's like we know that they can't die, but we
Yes.
do know that they still feel pain.
They feel pain. That's for sure. Boom.
Which it has to be a horrible eternity.
Yes, and he makes a jump. Boom. Sees her, and then she's like, "There's." I love this little scene. So she's in a bad spot. Cannon goes off. Right. Boom. Right.
Mhm.
She looks out and it breaks through the glass and through the fucking pillar and is rocketing towards this
guy who stole all the silver.
walks out.
He's like, while we're here.
He's like, I got all this jewelry, guys, and just gets catapulted through the doors. I fucking love it. I love this movie.
There are many scenes where like intensity is high and they kind of like break the tension with like a little bit of slapstick. He's like,
Just a little bit. It's just enough.
just enough. Whereas like we see a cannonball break through a window, break through a scaffolding pillar, and just like in the chest.
like the only reason why that guy's getting up is because he can't die.
Exactly. He's like, as we know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
fine.
like, as we know, they can't die, but they still feel pain. So that dude felt a whole cannonball flying at 80 miles per hour, if not more,
Oh, man.
into his fucking
It's
chest.
fucking great. I love it. And that upsets the chandelier, which causes it to fall. Bit contrived, but I'll let it pass.
Whatever.
It's fine. I love this scene because this I love this because so I have a specific grudge against display swords. I particularly hate any swords that are made out of 440 stainless steel because
it's like a low grade steel.
Low grade steel.
Grade. It's only there for display purposes.
Right. It's only there to be shiny and new.
Yeah.
And I always hated those because They're not good for defensive purposes. They're just for show, and they're just to show people things that you have. That's just a pretty metal object.
Yeah.
It's literally like the shiny metal thing. Like the way I look at it is like, you know, when raccoons are attracted to shiny things.
Yeah.
You know, you to make a trap for them, you just have the nails drilled in, and you just have something shiny at the bottom.
Yeah.
For me, that is what display swords. They're the shiny thing at the bottom of that trap.
Mm-hmm.
They're useless.
Yeah.
They serve no purpose, and all they do is they just take your money away.
Yeah.
I don't like stainless steel products unless they're like knives, because knives are small and there's a reason to have them in stainless steel. So I always get a kick at the fact that she grabs for this sword and she's like, I want to defend myself against these guys with this mantle that she's probably looked at fondly for years.
Yeah.
She's like, I've looked at this thing always wanting to use it since I was a child, right?
This thing that she probably paid no mind to after like the 20 years of her living. Living in this house.
But I mean, she's a fan of pirates, so of course she's probably going to be interested in swordplay. So she probably looks at this and she's like, she probably looks at it fondly like, you know, one day I would use this against my opponents.
Yeah.
And then it comes the day where she gets to use it against her opponents. She picks it up and it's just
a fucking display.
They come out.
Yeah.
They're fucking display.
They're not designed to come out.
No.
They're just
not.
there for show.
They're just there for show. And I fucking love it. It's such a good, like, pass at display swords because of how ineffective they are. It's just like, fuck, this is a bad situation.
Dude, this is made out of, like, the lowest grade steel possible because they're not meant to be used functionally as swords.
Exactly.
They're meant to be hung up on a wall.
And, of course, as we were told earlier, they're called to the coins. Or at least it's official here. They start calling her Puppet.
Okay, Google what the word poppet means.
I was about to say, I always thought it was...
Is it
I always thought it was puppet.
Yet again.
I always thought it was puppet.
Poppet meaning.
Puppet deaf.
An endearingly sweet or pretty child or young girl.
Small figure or of a human being used in sorcery or witchcraft.
Okay, that's more of a fantasy, but in historical context,
Still.
it means like a young, pretty girl.
Right.
Who is sweet, innocent, and non-threatening.
Ah, neat. I always thought it was puppet, but you know that still works too.
Yeah, a lot of words
sweet.
sound like other words.
And that's good. It's good that they're using that word.
Yeah.
It's Old English and it makes sense.
I mean, poppet and puppet are probably related to each other.
I love this. He's like, we promise we won't hurt you, and the guy's like, the other guy on the left, he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, I'm lying. I'm lying, fucking obviously.
We're totally gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
we're gonna slit her fucking eyes
out.
And
the dude's like, oh, yeah, you're right. We're lying.
Yeah. These two actually make multiple appearances throughout the movies.
They do.
And they're just comedy duo.
I like them mostly in this movie, though, because I think they at least have a intimidating appearance in the beginning.
Yeah. I
think they have a good point in this movie. In the later movies, they're way more slapstick.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
They're like the Three Stooges, but two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we will find you... And then he says, you got something of ours, and it calls for us. That's the big deal. The coins call the people that have been affected by
yes,
gold.
Exactly. It's like, as we've established, like, the curse... part of the curse is that they demand to be together.
Yes.
They demand to be united as one.
Right. And I think that's good because... that lets us know that they're always tracking and they're always determined to do that because it is constantly calling them.
Yeah.
And then they see, of course, this little cut of the curb right here.
Mm-hmm.
And they see, yeah, she probably ran into here. Because they know it's in the room because otherwise it would have felt it when she left. They said the gold calls to us. And the other guy's like, the gold. And then the silhouette, it's obviously kind of eerie. And they do the hello puppet, right? Hello puppet. It's really, it's creepy when you're watching it in context of the movie. Boom. Whips open the door. Why does this guy not just fucking blow her head off, right? He has every opportunity to, but he doesn't because she shouts parlay.
Parlay.
Parlay. Very important word in this movie. Now, most people, including myself, when I was a kid, I was like, the fuck does that mean?
Parlay?
The fuck is parlay?
Okay.
And even this guy is like, what? He's like,
how the fuck do you know that word?
parlay. I invoke the right of parlay. And let's see. According to the code of the Brethren, set down by Morgan and Bartholomew, who is in Assassin's Creed 4, Bartholomew Roberts, who was a very legendary pirate. You have to take me to your captain. Bartholomew Roberts. I had a little book because I was interested in pirates when I was a kid. I had a little book. It was one of those like scholastic big books, you know, that gave you all the shit. It was a bunch of shit about pirates, and it gave me stuff about like Bartholomew and about Blackbeard and all that fun stuff. Mm-hmm. It was a really cool book. But anyway, that was one of the things that made a connection with Assassin's Creed 4, with this movie, and with that book, is that Bartholomew Roberts was a real pirate. He was one of the most successful pirates in all of the piratedom among the 80 years that they reigned.
Yes.
In fact, I don't remember if he made it off scot-free. I think he might have been hung at some point. I don't remember. Most pirates were. But I think there were one or two that were able to make it out somehow. There were a very select few pirates that were able to make it out alive of being pirates. But anyway, there is this code that she's calling towards, saying, you know, it was bestowed by very well-known pirates that you have to take me to your captain. And he obviously bows back, and he's like, I know the code. He's like, of course I know the code.
But how the fuck do you know the code?
Yeah, that's more of the question. And she's playing into it more politician-y. And she's like, you know, an adversary, you know, as an adversary you can do no harm until the parley complete. And then the little, you know, Slim Bean over here wants to be like, you know, blazes with the code. But this guy, I like this too. He thinks smartly. He's like, take you to the captain, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the gold. You want to be taken to our ship. Fucking okay, sure.
Yeah, okay. Well,
all right.
I mean, we get the gold either way.
Yeah, and so he's like, she wants to be taken to the captain, and she'll go without a fuss.
Yeah.
Which, that's the thing I like about them in this movie, is that he's at least smart about it.
He is smarter in this movie than any other movie
he's
far.
Even in this first scene of him, he's like, okay, he's like, all right, you're wanting to go to our captain. We need what you've got. Okay, you're gonna come, but you're gonna come without a fuss because that's a part of the code.
Why not?
Exactly. And he's like, oh yes, you know. And he says it cynically. He's like, we must honor the code. You must come without a fuss. We're essentially taking you hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, shit. Again, there's a lot of that in this movie, and of course more ransacking, more crazy stuff, more combat with Will, right? He's going after it. The guy hooks him in with, I think, like an anchor or something. He's got some sort of hook.
Like some kind of scythe or sickle.
Yeah, and he's like, say goodbye, you know, being all intimidating and shit. And then boom, a cannonball. It's a bit convenient. Just so happens to hit the chain.
Yeah.
Chain breaks down. Will ducks, and then boom, it sacks him into the glass. He says goodbye. Funny. It's funny. It's a bit convenient, but you know, we can say for the sake of this combat, it hasn't been much of Will. It hasn't been life threatening for Will. He's just been trying to, you know, combat the pirates that are assaulting. You could have written it to where it was very endangering to Will, but that's not the focus of the scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just about, like, Will getting to Elizabeth because he is...
And acknowledging his character in fighting the pirates.
Yeah. He is brave. And he is clever. Now, and he does learn.
Right, and here's a big thing. So Will looks a bit stunned. Why is he stunned? He's been fighting so long. What has shocked him to this point? And boom, it's Elizabeth. She's being taken by the other people. And he's like, oh shit. He runs off. He's also stunned. Why? Because this guy's not dead. He's like, I thought I embedded an axe into your spinal cord.
Yeah.
Why are you still moving? He's like saying hello and shit. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
It was like, didn't I throw an axe into your spine earlier?
Right. And he looks down. Will looks down. All of a sudden, there's a fucking grenade over here. And he's like, oh, shit. You tossed a grenade to me. It was a dud. Didn't go off. And this guy is like, well, fuck. That's not great. That's terrible. Will looks at me. He's like, okay. Time for round 2, bitch. I got this. I killed you once. I can kill you again. But this guy's like out of my waist gun. Boom. Hits him with a frying pan again. Knocks him out.
Oh, well.
And then, yeah, again, you know, the whole knockout with hitting something behind the head, it's a bit kind of overused in this movie. But it's a thing.
Oh, well, I mean.
Not great. I like this a little bit, though, too, because, boom, a cannonball just so happens to go off at the prison. And it sets free all of the prisoners except for Jack.
Oh, well. Oh. Sucks for Jack.
And I love that they're like, my sympathies, you have no luck at all. And Jack's like, well, fuck. But now, all of the other prisoners are gone, right?
Yeah.
And I like this. This is important for y'all guys. With all the smoke, it cuts with some eerie music to the moonlight.
It's kind of like a werewolf thing.
Kind of like a werewolf thing.
It reveals a nature about you.
And then we have the click of we have the next shot of the bone, right? And someone picks it up. Who is it? But it's Jack. And he's like, all right, please come over here.
All right, you know what? I am desperate enough.
All right, I am desperate. So it goes to show that Jack's gonna play it all cool when everyone's around.
Yeah.
But as soon as they leave, he's like, all right, come here,
yeah.
Come here, you son of a bitch. Give me the keys. He goes on and does his thing. So we're getting all of our setups in, right, with how Jax feels about the Pearl, the ship, things about the ship. Cur. I always thought it was cat. There's a lot of lines that we mixed up.
You filthy, slimy, mangy curl. Filthy means dirty. Slimy means, of course, cur. I think cur is just like a general insult, but you can Google it if you feel like it.
See, I always thought yeah, sure, I'll do that. But I always thought he said mangy cat because it's a dog, and he's obviously calling it something that dogs don't like.
Yeah.
See, cur. Not current definition.
Shut up. We're talking about curs, not currents. An aggressive dog or one that is of poor condition, especially a mongrel. Very apt description.
Very apt description, yeah.
Filthy, slimy, mangy cur.
And then the dog hears some shit. He fucking runs off, and Jack's like, well, shit, that's not great. Gunshot. Boom. Guard's falling down. Not good. I love this. This ain't the armory. It's like, what the fuck did you think it was?
Oh, well, okay. Well, while you're here.
Right here. And then, boom, guy recognizes something. Looks at Twig, and he's like, what do we have here? Good old Captain Jack Sparrow. Last I saw you were all alone on a godforsaken island. So, lets us know where Jack was.
Yeah.
Where? Now, it's been 10 years since they've met each other. Or seen each other. So, we can understand that last time they saw Jack over 10 years ago was on a desert island.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we can gather things from that for one, they've known Jack since 10 years. Or at least a long time ago. We can say we don't know that it's been 10 years. So at least a long time ago. They know Jack historically.
Mm-hmm.
Jack has some history with the Black Pearl. And that last time they knew Jack, they left him on an island. Because I assume if he was all alone on an island, it wasn't because it wasn't unwilling.
Yeah.
They put him there on purpose, right? They didn't just, see Jack on an island alone and they just kept going. You can make assumptions on that. Sinking into the distance along with that. Like, they're like, yeah, we kind of left you on an island.
Yeah.
And they said his fortunes haven't improved much, which is funny. And Jack's like, hey, worry about your own shit. The deepest circle of hell is reserved for betrayers and mutineers. So he's like, which is a good apt line.
Well, that is actually like true in accordance to Dante's Inferno, which if you have read, you have known that the deepest circle of hell, the ninth circle of hell, is reserved for traitors.
Right.
Specifically traitors of your own man or traitors of God, which, in accordance of Dante's Inferno, Lucifer himself, the devil, is a prisoner of hell rather than the ruler of hell.
Right.
He is in the deepest circle of hell, along with, I want to say, Judas for certain, and of course, because this was written by a Roman guy who lived in the Roman Empire and he romanticized Roman shit. People say that, like, Paradise Lost and Dante's Inferno is like an epic poem. I, as an intellectual, recognize it for what it truly is, which is Christian fan fiction. Dante's Inferno is basically like a epic poem that describes the nature of hell and the circles thereof. There are 9 circles of hell and subcircles within. Betrayal, which is the deepest 9th circle of hell, holds Lucifer himself, Judas, and I think the guy who assassinated Caesar.
Oh, wow.
God, what was his name?
The guy that assassinated Caesar?
Who was the guy who assassinated Caesar? The guy who, like, stabbed him a shit ton of times.
37, I think it was. Marcus Junius Brutus.
Brutus. That was the guy's name. Brutus.
And
Brutus
Gaius
also...
Cassius Longius.
Yeah, so Brutus was one of the assassins of Julius Caesar, who, if you know anything about Julius Caesar, he was kind of like a unionist who was, like, very much for the people rather than the hierarchy of the government itself.
Right.
So a huge proponent for, like, human rights and shit. Which, of course, if you fight for human rights and the improvement of humankind as a whole, you're gonna get assassinated because powerful people don't like that shit. Naturally. Abraham Lincoln got shot in the fucking back of the head. JFK got shot in the front of the head. You know?
Yeah.
People who, care for other people typically don't survive long in this world.
And here is, I think, the big reveal. So he says, this is left for betrayers, mutineers. And another thing is, he says mutineers. Betrayers and mutineers. Mm-hmm. Which means he feels like they betrayed Jack. Or even mutinied Jack.
He was Captain Jack Sparrow.
Exactly. Which is what we've known from before.
So they mutinied against him specifically.
And then this right here, boom. This big reveal.
This skeletal hand, which the moonlight is shining upon.
Right. And then Jack looks at it. So there is a curse. So now we know the curse of the Black Pearl title makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I love this. That's interesting.
That's interesting.
And I like this little call. You know nothing of hell. Saying that they're like, look, we've been through so much. You don't know what we've been through.
Do you know what it's like to be immortal for 10 years? That's why immortality is like the common trope of like immortality is a curse rather than a blessing.
Right.
But it's like I live forever, but I still feel pain, I still feel hunger, I still feel thirst, I still feel lust.
And it can be
satisfied.
And
nothing can satisfy it.
Yeah.
I just live in a perpetual state of torture.
And then it just cuts to more
That's
shots.
The thing about immortality is like, okay, here's a huge difference. Immortality is not living forever. You are dying forever.
Mm-hmm. That's
the main difference. True. These people are not living forever. They are dying forever. Yes. They are constantly starved. They are constantly thirsty. They are constantly in a perpetual state of torture, and nothing can slate anything. Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
Exactly. It's terrible when you think about it.
Yeah.
And they're sliding back. I think this is a good moment. So this is a good shot of the Pearl. Lets you know kind of what the ship looks like. in the front of it and things like that.
She's nervous.
They get on the pirate ship, right? And they're going at it, doing all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, I'm sure she's frightened. And then we get the shot of this legendary man, Barbossa himself.
Barbossa.
I love Barbossa. I think he's got a lot of interesting qualities.
Yeah.
A very smart guy with his fucking
With a monkey.
With a monkey. See, didn't know we was taking on captives. And then she invoked the Bride of Parlay. And he's being smart too, because the guy was like, hey, I didn't think we were taking on any captives. And he's like, she invoked the Bride of Parlay. You might want to take her on, you know. And then she tries to show up her stature. You know, I'm here to, and then boom, back smack.
Magilla Gorilla over there does not give a fuck about what she has to say.
You will speak when spoken to, he says. And she's like, fuck, she's never been hit before.
She's never been slapped in the face. Like, a backhand at the most is like, okay, rewind. It's like, she's just like all hoity-toity. It's like, I'm using my stature to get me some recognition around this ship.
Right. She's trying to use her shit, right? And he's trying to pair. There's that fucking guy back there.
That guy in the back who's like
with the blonde
angry.
dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Walks up, boom.
Boom! Backhand slap to the face. Does not give a fuck what she has to say.
Just shocked utterly.
He's like, you will speak when spoken to, which is probably the code of parlay anyway.
Probably. I do like that Barbossa grabs his wrist and he's like, you will not... He tries to play charismatic. He's like, and ye will not lay a hand on those of the protection of parlay. Right. So he's trying to play the, kind gentleman. And that guy's like, alright, sure, fine, fuck. Jesus. Beg. My apologies, miss. And then she uses her political ganter. Captain Barbossa, I am here to negotiate the cessation of hostilities against Port Royal.
Cessation of hostilities. A lot of big words. Cessation means, stopping. A lot of long words there, miss.
Yeah, a lot of long words there, miss. We're not but humble pirates. So it's good because he's trying to set himself up as a unintelligent man.
Yeah.
He's like, we're none but humble pirates. We don't really know much about big words.
Grammar, the dictionary.
I don't know what cessation means or hostilities, but I assume it's something I'm fond of.
I don't know when the first dictionary was printed, but I imagine it was after this period of time.
More than likely. He's like, what is it that you want? And she goes, I want you to leave and never come back. And it's like, okay, plain words. That's good. And I love this comeback. I'm disinclined to acquiesce your request. Boom. Clap back with more big words.
Which is like, if you don't recognize those words, it means no.
Yes, I love that. Because it comes back and she's like, the fuck? Boom. Not like, boom.
Means no.
Means no. And here's the thing. He is trying to show himself up as being an intellectual.
Yeah.
He's trying to counteract her. There's this balance at play. She thinks that she's hot shit, right? Coming in like, oh,
I'm the governor's
ceased hostilities against Port Royal. And he's like, boom, I'm disinclined to acquiesce your request. And she's like, okay, fine. I know what you came here for. I'll fucking drop the shit. And they're like, whoa, escalation.
Yeah, those two
it's
guys,
just escalating.
Because those two guys, the stooges, basically, they were like, the gold calls to us, and she knows, like, okay, well, they're here for the medallion, so what if I just drop it in the fucking ocean?
Yeah, which they didn't think about. So it's like they're smart, but they also have their issues, because they should have just taken the medallion.
They should have just shot her and taken the medallion.
Exactly.
They were smart, but
exactly, because but I love it because it's a good level of escalation because it's like, boom, ceased your hostilities against Port Royal. And he's like, oh, we're humble pirates. She's like, okay, leave dinner, come back. And he's like, I am disinclined to acquiesce to your request. He's like, I'm smart too, bitch. And she's like, okay, you want to play this fucking game?
It's a battle of wits.
I'll drop your gold into the water. And
it is a battle of wits between Elizabeth and Barbossa.
Right. And he's like, well, shit. He's like, She's busting with shine. It matters to us. And I love it. He's like, she's bursting with shine like it matters to us. Why? Like, why would you drop it in the water?
She's just like, calls their bluff.
Calls their bluff. That's what you've been searching for. Boom. I recognize this ship. Saw it 8 years ago. Crossing. Oh, she saw it 8 years ago.
8 years ago. So 10 years ago
was when the curse took place.
8 years ago was when she first saw the Black Pearl.
Right.
So they've been on the hunt for like 2 years since.
Right.
Before she saw the ship.
Right. And I love this. They're like, you know, like it matters to us. She's like, all right, sure. If it's worthless, there's no point in keeping it. Goes drop it. Calls their bluff. And they're just like, fuck. Well, I've already had to search in the ocean for 3 of these things. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. I mean, if you're immortal and you can't die, then it's like you have nothing but time anyway.
Right, and just the pleasing smile that she's got on her face. She's like,
called your bluff, bitch.
Calls your bluff, and then he plays it off well though. You know, he's like, you know what we're after. Fine, sure. Have a name. Finds out who she is, and she's like, oh. I was told that they were after the governor's daughter.
See, this is super clever in the plot of the movie. What you're about to explain.
Yeah, because she's like, oh yeah, they were here for the governor's daughter. I could just play myself as a nobody that just so happened to have a gold coin, which is also something that they want. They take the gold coin. I go back home. We're all good, right?
Which is kind of
I just gotta play myself as a nobody. Boom. Elizabeth Turner. Okay. A nobody. A blacksmith.
Yeah, a blacksmith.
Who I'm also attracted to.
Okay, that's the funny thing is like, you should watch this movie twice.
Exactly.
You need to watch this movie more than once because it explains details that you missed the first time. She calls herself Elizabeth Turner because she is under the impression, because of the maid, that they're after her because she's the governor's daughter. Mm-hmm. She has importance to her name, so she puts on this fake name.
But
a name that she thinks has low importance, which kind of tells you what she thinks of Will.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm Elizabeth Turner. You know, a lowly name that has no importance to you whatsoever. And they're just like, Turner, huh?
Miss Turner.
Miss Turner? Because they're not after the governor's daughter. They don't give a fuck about the governor's daughter.
They don't give a shit about the governor's daughter.
Who gives a shit about the governor's daughter? They're after their curse.
They're after their curse.
And as we know...
Which is a part of the gold. But Miss Turner, it would also explain why she has the gold.
Why she has the gold and why Will was on that ship with the gold in the first place.
And then they say bootstrap.
Bootstrap.
Set up for later. Set up for later. Boom, they're all super excited. And how does a maid, because he assumes that she's a lowly maid.
Yeah.
Not a lady of high standard. Own a trinket such as that. Family heirloom.
They're playing off each other. It's like they're playing off each other's lies.
It's like, oh, so you know, it's a family heirloom, I assume you have. And then she claps back, I didn't steal it, if that's what you mean. So, you know, she's playing into it as well, saying like, oh, you know, it's always been mine.
Mm-hmm.
But that also plays into what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for Turner with the medallion. Boom. Exactly. They have both. They have their cake and he can eat it too.
Just like that.
And he's like, all right, you know. And he plays his lawyer joke, or his lawyer thing, which is what he's known to do. He's like, if you give us the gold, we'll put your town to our rudder.
Which, by the way, the rudder is the back of the ship.
Yes.
So, which means they're turning their back on the ship.
We'll leave and never come back.
Yeah.
Just like you wanted. Boom. Gives them the gold. Now they have the gold. But they also have a Turner.
Nah.
In their eyes, at least. And she says, our bargain, you know. And I'm like, all right, leave. Let's go. And she says, you have to take me to shore. She starts bantering about the code. She's like, you have to take me to the shore according to the code. And he basically claps back with her, being like, look.
I know the code better than you.
I know this better than you. So first, you know, this is the lawyer part. your return to shore was not part of our negotiations, so we don't have to do fucking
we don't have
anything.
to do shit.
He's like, secondly, the code is made for pirates, and you're not a pirate, so it doesn't actually apply. And thirdly, the code is more of what you call guidelines than actual rules, which is how I view
like
the Holy Bible. I love it.
It's more guidelines than actual rules.
I mean, it has some brilliant stuff in it, don't get me wrong, but still. Yeah. I love it. It's more what you call guidelines than actual rules. And then he's like, welcome to the Black Pearl, Miss Turner.
You dumb bitch.
You dumb fucking bitch.
You dumb bitch.
And then we'll turn away because I'm like, what the fuck happened?
I've taken like 3 concussions in the past half hour.
Right.
It's like daytime now.
Here, keep going. I gotta go pee real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
And I'll
it's like
some,
to kind of like give you a sense of like how long Will has been like knocked out. It's like full blown daytime. So let's see what just goes on in the past. Let's see. Oh yeah, destruction, ruin, dead men. They're trying to coordinate and take the offensive. Mr. Mortog, remove this man. He is a lowly beta cuck, and I have no time.
He doesn't have those gamma rays like we do.
Yeah, he's not a gamma male like us. He doesn't take pride in his failures. He's ashamed of them. Like a little fucking alpha that he is. Where do you propose we start? If you have any information concerning my daughter, share it. He's like... He doesn't really know what happened to Elizabeth Turner. He wasn't around. He saw her get taken by pirates. He can't say for sure if she escaped, if she's still with them, blah, blah, blah. But, the last time that he saw her, she was being taken by pirates. Oh, yeah, and these, like, the other, the royal version of the Two Stooges, this, like, God, I can't remember the actor's name, but, like, this guy and the other guy, it's like, Captain Jack Sparrow did speak of the Black Pearl, and as far as we know, Captain Jack Sparrow is still held in our prison cells. So, maybe we should go talk to him. Yeah, this guy, the other guy.
Too prideful.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like...
You want to grab us a couple beers?
Oh yeah, no problem. How many beers we got left?
I think I bought some Yinglings earlier, so if you want to look at the bottom drawer, we might have some of those as well.
Yeah, but like, as the Royal Guard say, it's like, Captain Jack Sparrow may have information on the Black Pearl, but they didn't take him with them, so he's clearly not their allies. They left him in a cell to rot.
Right.
So it's like, the enemy of our enemy
kind
of thing.
Which honestly, as you go, Will kind of plays this into his hand. He's like, okay, so this is not Jack's allies, but at the same time, Jack knows info about these pirates. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. You could play into that. You could use that to your advantage. If Jack has some sort of grudge against these pirates, he'll take whatever bargain he can get against these guys. So Will has an understanding of this. Norrington also has an understanding that, they're not, how much help is this guy going to actually be? They're both trying to gauge what they can do. Will can't do a whole lot in this situation. Norrington can do much. Norrington is in command of armies, essentially. He's a commander of troops. He can send people out to do this or do that. He's trying to figure out navigation. Will's like, I'm just a lowly blacksmith. I know this guy that vaguely knows the Black Pearl. Maybe I can get him to do some shit. That can help. So,
There you go.
alright. Let's do this. Alright.
Alrighty.
What is it, 6 beers in, lad?
Something like that.
Let's see, for me, I got 1, 2, 3,
4. I should just bring a 12-pack of cans one next time. Like, I'm clearly wasting my time with these 6-packs.
My whole point with this one is that even though they're not his allies, They could be his enemies, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's what Will's trying to play into.
It's like, we could make a deal with him, because clearly he was left behind to rot in his cell. They're not his allies.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, maybe we can, apply to his, like, sense of, like, opportunity.
Right. And so, in my opinion, you need to look at Norrington. Norrington's in command of armies. He's in command of troops. Will can just go on hunches. So, he's looking at it like, we should establish a course for my troops to take, and then we can see what we can find.
Mm-hmm.
Will's like, I have a hunch, I'm gonna go with it. So it's kind of the way that they're going. So Will's like, that's not good enough. You can't just establish a course and just go sailing out to the fucking world.
I was like, take away the overlay. It's like, this guy is shocked at Will's, like, behavior. He's like, I've never seen this side
the
of
audacity of this bitch.
He's like, I have never seen this side of Will once in my life. Over, like, the 10 years that I've known this kid. And Norrington, he's just like, dude, really?
It's a Tuesday.
He's like, alright, whatever. It's like, I'm just gonna ignore that.
Mr. Turner, you're not a military man.
Leave it to the professionals.
Again, they play on the motif of what we talked about
like,
last
this
time.
This isn't your place.
They put Will in his place. That's what they keep trying to do. They're like, you're not a military man, you're not a sailor.
Leave it to the professionals.
You're a blacksmith. This is not the moment for rash actions. And then he even plays into the more romantic play. Do not mistake that you're the only man here who cares for Elizabeth. All the men around this area, including the father, care for Elizabeth.
There is so much, like, sexual electricity between these two men right here. He's like, grabs him by the back. He's like, you are not the only man who cares for Elizabeth. I care for her so much I might kiss you right now.
It's electric. So Will fucks off. Obviously, he goes to head over. Jack, I like this. Jack being smart enough, he whittled the bone down. Yeah, he whittled the bone down.
All night
To get it down to this lock so he could try and pick it. And he fucking backed out before he could get it free. He's like, you, Sparrow. And he's like, oh yeah, I've just been laying here not doing anything. What's up? And Will starts asking about the Black Pearl. And, he cuts to the chase. Jack's like, I've heard of it. And Will goes, where does it make birth? And, Jack's like, where does it make birth? Have you not heard of the stories? And he starts talking about the stories, right? And he starts talking about Captain Barbossa and his crew of miscreants. So he hates Barbossa, obviously. I like this.
Okay, so, like, rewind a little bit.
Okay. Because this is some big exposition stuff. So let's see.
Captain Barbossa and his crew of miscreants. Now.
Yeah.
Okay, sail from the dreaded Isla de Muerta, which is Spanish for Island of Death.
Isla de Muerta.
And they are undead, technically.
Right. Technically speaking, scientifically speaking, they're undead.
Yeah. So, Isla de Muerta is Island of Death in Spanish.
And I always liked these loop around riddles almost.
Yeah.
I always like these kind of plot because it's interesting. I like these little paradoxes. They're silly, but I find them fun.
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like, it's an island that cannot be found except by those who already know where it is.
So what we can infer by Isla de Muerta is that it's an island of the dead, and you can only find it if you have been passed on from your mortal coil.
Yeah, or at the point where someone has taken you there.
Exactly. So it's like you can only find it if it calls to you because you are technically dead.
Right.
Which, the Black Pearl crew, it's been dead for 10 years.
Well, I mean that was the way that they found it. Because if I'm not mistaken, we'll talk about it later about how they find Isla de Muerta later on. But I always love the little paradox. It's like, it cannot be found by anybody except for those who already know where it is. It's like, I always thought that was cool. It's a paradox. It's like time travel, but I always found it fun. It's a fun little gimmick.
My inversion from this is that, like, it cannot be found except for those who already know where it is. Isla de Muerta is an island where the Aztec gold is held.
Right.
Which we will get to in more detail later. So the gold itself brings you closer to death, but not truly there. You are dead, but still living. You are in between death and
constantly
life.
dying.
Immortality. You are not living forever, you are dying forever.
Exactly.
So, these men who are technically dead, undead, in between life and death, know where the island is because the gold calls them to the island.
Right.
As they are affected by the curse.
Right.
So, it's very technical and very, like, mystical. But it's, like, basically what you need to know about the island, Isla de Muerta, is that, like, it's an island of death. It can only be found by the dead, which is only an occurrence if you are cursed by the Aztec gold, which hosts it.
Right. It's a big paradox in a sense. Unless whoever was the first one there, essentially.
Yeah. Which, I mean, for all we know, these aren't the first guys who've been cursed by this gold.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure fucking not the Aztecs, but the conquistadors were cursed by that gold.
For sure.
Yeah. But Will's like, all right, so it's fucking real enough. You know, where is it heading? Where's its anchorage? What do you know about it? Essentially, he's trying to cut to the chase. And Jack's like, why ask me? And he just goes, because you're a fucking pirate.
Yeah.
Like,
as you've admitted multiple times.
As you admit, you're a pirate. And Jack tries to be like, oh, so, you want to be a pirate yourself. And then he gets fucking triggered by this. He's like, no, not happening. Never.
That was my trigger phrase.
Never. I'm never becoming a pirate. Never happening. And Jack's like, yeah, sure. But they took Miss Swan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Jack's like, oh, so you have found a woman, which calls back to the fight.
You do have a trumpet.
You do have a strumpet.
A strumpet.
Quite so. He's like, I see. So if you're intending to brave all, hasten to our rescue, and so win fair lady's heart. I love the dialogue in this movie.
Yeah, there's like, Jack is like pushing all the insecure buttons on Will.
And the lines too, the way that the vocabulary for it is good. But he says you'll have to do it alone, because I see no profit in for me. And Will says I can get you out. And I like this because again, he's a blacksmith. Mm-hmm. He's been doing this for years, right?
He knows iron.
And Jack's like, the keys have run off. How the hell are you going to break me out of this place? And Will goes, legit, I helped build these cells. These are half pin barrel hinges with right leverage and the proper application of strength. The door will live free. And then Jack's like, that's oddly clever.
It's kind of like that intentional weakness, like the Death Star, where it's like the architect that created the Death Star, like, put an intentional weakness in it so that it can be destroyed.
Right. Exactly. And so he's like, that's oddly smart of you. He's like, what the hell is your name anyway?
Yeah.
And then he says, Will Turner.
He's like,
Will
Turner, huh?
Will Turner, right?
Will
Turner. That reminds me of a guy I knew.
That reminds me of a guy.
Yeah, that's
Bootstrap comes to mind.
Bootstrap come, yeah. But so I always love that because it's like, oh yeah, I know that name. That's vaguely familiar. But obviously set up for later, so we're kind of jumping ahead of the curve. But he's like,
how far are we into this movie?
40 minutes. 43.
Wow, 20 minutes and 2 hours later.
And he's like, it would be short for William, I imagine. Good, strong name. No doubt name for your father, eh?
Because he knows his father.
He kind of knows. He's like, yeah. And Will kind of picks up on that, too. And Jack's like, all right, well, Mr. Turner, you've changed my mind. Spring me, I swear I'm paying to death. I'm gonna take you to the Black Pearl and your Bonnie Lass.
Bonnie Lass.
And then the Accord.
Which Bonnie in the time was like basically thick.
Yeah.
You're thick lady.
And they make an agreement. Will helps him escape, and Jack helps him rescue Elizabeth.
Laid.
Yeah,
get laid.
Get laid and get to the Black Pearl. Which is kind of what Jack wants anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so Will's like, all right, that made a lot of noise. Get out of here. And Jack's like, not without my shit. So they rush over. And Will's like, we're going to steal a ship. And Jack, because of his perceptive vibes from last episode, he goes, that ship, commandeer. We're going to commandeer that ship. Nautical term. I've never noticed that.
Nautical term.
I never noticed that.
We're going to commandeer the ship.
Nautical term.
Commandeer.
Nautical term. That's funny. I never caught that. That's so cute. Oh man, I gotta see that again.
We're going to
steal a ship. Yeah. That ship. Commandeer. We're gonna commandeer that ship. Nautical term.
He's like,
that's fucking great.
We're not gonna steal a ship. We're going to commandeer a ship.
That's fantastic.
Very lawyer terms.
One question about your business, Jack starts to ask. Or else there's no use going. The girl.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how far are you wanting to go to save her? Which is a good question. Because Jack needs to know that in this situation. And Will's like, straight up, I'll freaking die for her. And Jack's like, well, it's fantastic. And then we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to talk about that. And I love this little cut. So we have a bunch of the guards running by. Bunch of canoes and kayaks set up, I suppose. I don't know which one's which. I think it's canoes.
Yeah.
And then
lifeboats.
Yeah. They hop up out of here. I believe this was possible. I think Mythbusters tried it.
What do you mean?
Mythbusters wanted to see if this thing that they do actually works.
I don't quite remember this, so keep playing so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh.
That.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, let me get the image up for us. The whole going underwater with a canoe for oxygen.
I believe it because, well, okay, so here's the thing. It's like, oxygen is less dense than air, so obviously it will rise above oxygen.
Right.
Well, it will rise above water.
Right.
Because by virtue of it being less dense than water. So
sure.
The air around you will constantly try to, like, sit on top of water. So it's not impossible to, like, trap oxygen in, like, a sealed case. However, my thing is, like, if you have that much oxygen underneath you, chances are you'll just float to the fucking top anyway.
Right.
But, movie magic, whatever,
Yeah, I don't remember if, let's see, since we've been Googling stuff today, might as well try and Google this. Let's see. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Canoe scene?
Canoe.
Underwater.
Yeah.
Mythbusters. There we go. 2 pirates can use a rowboat. Okay, that's the technical term. As a makeshift submarine by walking along the ocean bottom and using the rowboat to hold a pocket of breathable air.
Let's see. Solve the buoyancy problem. Lower themselves down with 60. Okay, to solve the buoyancy problem, the Mythbusters load themselves down with over 60 pounds of pirate gear and attempted the myth began, but met with similar results.
Okay, so it is possible. Like I said, if you have that much air, you are likely to just float to the top, so you have to really weigh yourself down.
Okay, so it looks like it is busted.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, we're unable to pull the rowboat to the bottom of the pool to solve their buoyancy. 60 pounds of pirates' gear, met similar results. They weighed the boat down with 500 pounds of weights. Wow. They then weighed the boat down with 500 pounds of weights, but not even that was enough to keep the rowboat under the surface.
Wow, so even 500 pounds wasn't like contested enough.
So it's just busted.
Yeah. So
Mythbusters then calculated that it would take more than 2,000 pounds of force to keep the rowboat and the air pocket underwater, making the myth impractical, if not impossible. To explain the scene in the movie, Mythbusters demonstrated that it was achieved through special effects and clever editing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like, yeah, this scene is like plausible but not possible.
Right.
They would need thousands of pounds of weight to just keep that canoe underneath, which was like my first gripe. As I said, it's like, if you have that much air underneath a rowboat, sure, you can create a pocket of air, but like that much air underneath you, it's gonna float you to the top anyway.
Exactly.
So they would need thousands upon thousands of pounds to just keep that boat underneath.
Right. And I love this. Will's like, this is either madness or brilliance. And Jack says it's remarkable how those two traits coincide. Which is fair.
Yeah. And he got caught in a crab trap.
Yeah, Will steps in a crab trap, yeah. And he starts bringing it along with him.
And the little slave boy again.
Taking a gander.
Listen, we can say it, all right? That kid is clearly a slave boy.
More than likely.
Yeah. Are we going to say that he's a freed slave, that he's just like a child employee?
Sure. No, I don't care. But they start climbing up the back of I believe this is the Duchess. This is the Duchess, I think.
What happened to the well, they said that a other ship was faster.
The
Expedient?
No. Inquisitor.
Maybe?
Wait. No, this is the Dauntless. The Inquisitor for speed, yeah. No, Interceptor, sorry.
Interceptor. There it was, yeah.
So this is the Dauntless, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
They're commandeering the Dauntless at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a very good play by them. And they show up, Jack with his pistol and Will with his swords. Jack's like, everyone stay calm. We're just, this is a robbery, essentially.
Yeah.
We're taking over the ship.
With your one bullet and a guy with a sword.
And then Will's like, I avast. He's like, I'm a pirate.
Yarg.
Yarg.
And Jack is just like, dude, really? You are blowing this really badly.
You're making me look bad. Please stop.
I avast, ye matey.
And they start laughing at him, and Jack's like, fucking... I love Will, like, because Will's got the Clint Eastwood squinty eyes, and then he's like, what?
What did I say wrong?
Did I do something? Like,
do you guys not say I evast?
Yeah, like, what's up? And they said the ship cannot be crewed by two men. You'll never make it out of the bay. And it makes sense. Right.
Fair.
So, because this is the big problem. Because Jack and them, they're trying to take a whole fucking ship by themselves.
A man of war, nonetheless.
They don't have the men for it.
Yeah, like...
You know how many sails you have to operate at one time?
Dude, a man of war takes at least a crew of like 60 men to fully operate.
Right.
Cannons and all.
Especially to fucking turn.
Yeah.
It takes time, right?
Yeah.
Like, you'll never make it out of me. Because the Dauntless, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, it is stationed. It is anchored. It's not moving.
No. Hey,
Whoa.
lovely. Hey, just threw your phone on the bed. What's up?
But Jack's got a plan. He's like, I got this shit. It's like, son, I'm Captain Jack Sparrow. I can do what the fuck I want.
Savvy.
Yeah, savvy. Classic line from Jack. Cuts in, I think, Norrington and a couple of other associates doing shit.
Dauntless.
Yeah, looking over at the Dauntless. He's like, Commodore, they're taking a ship. He's like, oh shit, Sparrow and Turner, they're taking the Dauntless. So they're taking the Dauntless and they're right off. And Jack is like, come on, gotta get your shit going. He's like, this is gonna be the stupidest shit I've seen in my life.
He's like, dude, a pirate and an inexperienced sailor trying to take over the fucking Man-O-War Dauntless.
There's no way.
Are you fucking serious?
I love this. And he says they've come, and the Inquisitor is launched out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Jack's fucking face. This was actually on.
It was all part of the plan.
This was in my book. In my book was this specific image of Jack and Will doing their thing, right? So, I always loved this. I was a bit biased towards it. I loved it. So, the Inquisitor is swinging around. This dude's like, "Come on, bring us around so we can get up on the Inquisitor." They throw hooks. They swing on to the Dauntless, this Man-O-War, this giant ship, right? And they're like, search every cabin, every hold, everything. Find everything, right?
It's like, this motherfucker's not getting away.
And then Jack's like, I'm just gonna, take one of those hooks and I want to swing onto the Inquisitor over here. That, by the way, is already set for sailing because this was just anchored down.
Mm-hmm.
The Inquisitor, to catch up to the Dauntless, is set for sailing.
Yeah.
It's ready to go.
It was all part of the plan.
It was all built up. It's ready to go. You just have to.
As we have established earlier, the Inquisitor cannot be matched with
it's
speed.
also larger in size.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, as we mentioned in the last episode, the Inquisitor is the fastest ship in the fleet.
Yeah. So they don't need big firepower because they know that would be wasted on the Black Pearl. They just need speed to catch up to them.
Exactly. Alright. And then boom, Will starts cutting the ties. Boom. The Interceptor starts
Interceptor. Not Inquisitor. Interceptor.
Oh yeah. Interceptor starts taking off. And then Norton's like, fuck, back to the Interceptor. Now. One dude fucking swings off. Nope, not gonna make it.
Does not make it at all.
And I love it. Just thank you, Commodore, for getting us ready to make way. They start taking shots at him. He's like, we would have had a hard time
by ourselves.
Exactly. It's like, it's such a smart move.
He's so clever.
Freaking take up a ship that was already anchored down, have the other crew fly out their ship to come and catch up to you, and then
just commandeer the other ship.
Commandeer the other ship, and then take off.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrific.
Excellent.
Set up top sails and catch the misses. It says with the wind across the stern, we won't catch them. And so the idea is with Norrington, and Norrington says just get them in the range of the long knives. The idea is he's like, we just need to get it down.
Yeah, we just need to sink the ship.
We just need to sink the ship. If we can sink the ship, we'll be good. Because at this point, I'd rather be gone
than be commandeered by pirates.
Right, exactly. So just get them in range. Because So just get the ship ready to fire, essentially. So they're getting ready. And Norrington rises at the bottom of the ocean and hands up a pirate.
Yeah.
However,
Which kind of gives you the idea of like the conviction.
Right. He hates pirates.
Yeah, he'd rather sink one pirate to the fucking bottom of the ocean than to lose a ship.
Exactly. He said, Commodore, he's disabled the rudder chain. So he planned for it from the fucking get-go.
Mm-hmm.
He was ready for it. And then, of course, the Interceptor is flying straight into that dude's canoe. They jump off. Boom, boom. Gone. And that dude's like, this gotta be the best fucking pirate. Because that was the smartest.
That was clever.
That was 4D chess.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's gonna be the best pirate I've ever seen. And Norrington says, so it would seem. Fucking terrific.
Norton being put in his place yet again by the Sigma male grind set.
And with that, let's see, sailing off towards, here, I actually have an idea. Will starts talking about his family, right? He's like, I came out looking for my father to Port Royal. Jack doesn't give a shit. And Will starts asking about his dad. He's like, it's only after I, mentioned the fact that my dad that you wanted to help. It's like, I'm not fucking stupid. You knew my dad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like my name carries some kind of importance for some reason, even though I'm a lowly blacksmith.
And Jack's like, yeah, I knew your dad. Probably one of the few who knew him as your name. Everyone else called it Bootstrap, which is what we heard before.
Which kind of implies that, like, William Turner was a name that he reserved for close friends.
Exactly.
Or, like, close comrades, so to say. Everyone else knew him as Bootstrap, which is like a nickname.
Right. But good pirate. And he says, "I swear you look just like him." And Will's like, excuse me, what the fuck? That's not me. I hate pirates. My father was a merchant sailor. He was a good, respectable man, obeyed law. And then Jack is like, shut the fuck up. He was not that.
Like,
he was
whatever,
a pirate.
dude.
He was a scallywag.
He was a pirate.
He was a pirate. Get over your shit.
Whatever. Get the fuck over yourself, Bill.
Exactly.
Will.
Exactly. And he pulls out his sword. He's like, my father was not a pirate. He's ready to draw swords over this shit. Like, he's like, you're dissing my father's name. Them is fighting words.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And Jack said, put it away. He's gonna get beat again. So he's like, there's no use in getting into this. I won before.
The rules of engagement are more guidelines than actual rules.
And Will's like, no, you didn't beat me. You ignored the rules of engagement. I could kill you.
Again, pirate.
Yeah, he's like, I could kill you. He's like, in a fair fight. And then Jack's like, well, it's not a good idea to be in a fair fight then, is it? And then again, boom, throws a shit over, puts Will on the back foot. Right, by catching the thing. He's like, as long as you're here, listen up, because you might learn something. Listen, bitch.
You have nowhere to go.
Yeah. There are only two things that matter: what a man can do and what a man can't do. This is Jack's philosophy. He's like, you can accept that your dad was a pirate and a good man, or you can't. But it's in your blood, and you'll have to figure that shit out later on.
Yeah, basically saying it's like, listen, believe what you want, but your dad was a pirate, and you're just gonna have to deal with that one way or the other.
Yeah, and he's like, I could let you drown, but I can't bring in Tortuga on myself.
Yeah.
He's like, so I can do this, but I can't do that.
This is not a relationship built on trust. This is a relationship built on mutual interest.
And necessity.
Kind of like marriage.
Yeah. And so Will's like, I think I get it. Brings him back in. Boom. He's like, can you sail under the command of myself, a pirate? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And flips the blade over. I like that. And he's like, if you're gonna fight, then fight. He's like, or can you not? And Will takes the sword. And he says, Tortuga. Jack says, Tortuga. So...
Tortuga is Spanish for turtle.
Yes, but it also is, it's British for fun times.
I guess, but Tortuga is like Spanish for turtle. It refers to an island, so it means Turtle Island. Probably because of like the shape of it. It resembles a turtle, basically. But it's also, like, in the context of this movie, it's a lawless land where people just, like, revel and, like, fight, fuck, whatever they want with no chains holding them back.
Yep. It is the Wild West of the Pirate Age.
Mm-hmm.
And with going into Tortuga, I think we'll end that there for this session.
All right.
That'd be a good place to end it. Almost an hour in.
Wow, 15 minutes in.
2 episodes.
Another 2 hours later.
Another 2 hours 43 minutes. I think we're making good progress.
You know what? This episode has been kind of a killer.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
We got into a lot of like the secrecy, a lot of like the little hidden details.
A lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff's been uncovered in this video, and I really enjoyed it. So, without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next one. All right.
See you guys next week. You guys take care.
Bye.
I hate you.